record and pull up my notes because I don't remember what to say ever. Welcome, my friends. Welcome back to the Krieg Dominion. I am Omar Krieg, your Lord and Commander of the Krieg Dominion, and your host for this, the 27th episode of Along the Frontier. This episode, of course, is entitled Electronic Sheep. If you haven't noticed, there's a certain theme for the last several episodes, but I'm going to leave that alone for now and let you ruminate on that. I am the Game Mother, a title that I did not create, but it does sound kind of cool when you think about the Alien franchise and the lore and all the other things. I am joined, of course, by Rodance, Luke, and Kane. I will periodically, unintentionally, get Luke and Kane confused in my own head and call one the other and the other one. I don't know why I do this, it just happens. Rodance? Nothing personal, but you stand out. I'll let you figure out why. I think you can do that.
I mean...
I probably shouldn't have even said that much. I really didn't need to. I know that.
I mean, it is the nature of life.
It is. It is indeed.
If it makes you feel any better,
Go ahead.
between us, like all of us, we have 8 boobs.
This is true. We do. There are 4 of us, unless somebody has had a mastectomy. And if you don't want to talk about it, I'm not trying to force your hand.
But yeah,
all right, let me get back on track before I allow myself to continue to get off way out in the tangent lands. With me, of course, are Rodance, Luke, and Kane. Let's take a moment to check in with them and see what's new and exciting with them over the last week or so. And meanwhile, I'll just be over here signing up my little face huggers to be emotional support animals. Rodance, yeah, listen, this is going to get dark in the next couple of weeks where I'm going with this. But, Rodance, what's new and exciting with you besides a cat sniffing at your head who is now ignoring you?
Yeah, he likes sitting behind me on the couch most of the time.
Yeah.
He's just chilling here.
Yeah.
He's my couch buddy in the evenings, but only in the evenings.
And only if he wants to be.
Yep. I think he wants me to just go to sleep, so he wants me to stop touching him now. He's giving me the look. And he keeps moving farther away.
I saw that.
Yeah. So let's see. I got to work a 10-hour day, a 19-hour day, and a 10-hour day last week for work.
Yes.
The hurricane came through and chewed up a whole bunch of stuff real bad, including our data center.
How did that go? I never did get a follow-up to my questions.
So, let's see. Work I should have been doing at 5 o'clock the night before was done at 6 a.m. the next morning. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. We're still cleaning up the fallout.
I understand, of course, that hurricanes are, as they may be considered, an act of God. And that the things that they can cause, insofar as damages and whatnot, can be quite a lot. But when your data center goes down, and you've got people on the clock still, waiting for it to come back up, knowing damn well that in the first several hours after it going down because of, I don't know, the finger of God, maybe let them go home. Or, in your case, clock off. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know anything, though.
You want to know what hurts my soul?
Besides the finger of God?
They never failed over.
They never what?
There was no DR plan. They never failed over.
I'm not entirely sure what those terms mean, but please go ahead.
There was no disaster recovery plan for the loss of a data center.
So they didn't know what to do.
They didn't have the capability to go, oh, this one building isn't working. Let's move all of our stuff to this building over here. This building over here doesn't exist. So when this one poofs, there's nothing.
They had no way to... Wow.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it hurts my soul.
Yeah. I feel like
if I was in the IT department at any of other place that I worked that was a major corporation and I let that happen, I would have been fired.
Yes, probably. I would imagine so. Yeah. I don't know much about IT,
the company
but yeah.
I worked at had a data center outage because somebody gave a contractor coming in to do work bad information, and the contractor, by accident, because of the bad information, set off the halon system.
Ooh,
you want to know who got fired? The people who gave them the bad information.
Yeah. I mean, arguably, in some cases, the contractor may lose the contract, but not always.
It wasn't the contractor's fault. They were just given bad information.
No.
Because they were doing work in the data center and the dust set off the system.
Yep. And Halon is
we're
one of
not
those
gonna be
that's really hard to breathe.
It's one of those where you are not allowed back into the building until it is cleared by the fire department, and that does not happen for several hours.
Halon is, if I'm not mistaken, it literally smothers the oxygen on like a
Yes,
chemical
it
level.
is a non-breathable gas and will kill you.
Yeah. Well, the lack of oxygen will kill you, but yes.
Yeah.
Kind of like
its
Freon.
presence will kill you.
Kind of like getting Freon in your lungs. That will absolutely kill you.
Yeah, it's just been one of those weeks.
Well, fortunately, the hurricane didn't have much direct impact on you, if I'm not mistaken.
It was sunny the next day because there was a storm coming from the north, and it pushed everything west because it was originally supposed to track through where I am living currently, but it got pushed, 2 hours to the west instead and totally destroyed those people.
Oof.
So yeah, there's this interstate called I-40. Big, huge to-do through the mountains. Good couple hundred miles chunk of it is gone. Just washed into the river.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
That will ruin your travel plans. Not to mention a significant impact on
There's
commerce.
entire towns that are just
nothing. That's rough. That is rough.
There's so we are like, they can't announce death tolls because they can't contact anyone to notify them.
Because there's no one there, I would imagine.
They have to be careful releasing the footage because they can't, display human remains.
Yeah. That is
But in
wild.
other news, in much happier news, did you see the song I picked as poor Watts' new theme?
I saw it.
I've never heard it before. I listened to it before we hopped on, and that was fun.
Yeah. Go look at it real quick. It's worth it. Don't play it in the first 10 minutes of your show because it has a lot of curse words in it.
Oh, well. We're at 7 minutes, so I'll have to wait until a break or something. Oh, we don't do breaks. That's right. I'm a slave driver in that regard.
Yeah, you gotta sneak those breaks in sometimes.
Well, see, that's why. So now I know why you don't have a webcam. I'm on to you, Luke. I'm on to you.
Okay.
I noticed in the last week in the last week or so, I've been trying to get more streaming time done, playing video games, but I've run into a handful of technical issues. I think I talked about them a little bit here last week. But I've noticed I'll take a break when it's just me on the camera, but when there's more than me, we don't get breaks. Get back to work. Keep role playing.
Yeah, I mean, I never take more than like 30 seconds anyways, so it's like, whatever. Just to get coffee, whatever.
Yeah. What I need to do is, wow, apparently I am pegging out into the red here. What I need to do is set a hotkey so I can pause the recording, because when it comes to, because that way I can, we can take a break, pause the recording, come back, and the final product will still be one long video with the audio synced up and everything else. Ideally, I assume. Which is the better option, because if I do everything in post, that means I got to take time out of what little there is in my day-to-day to edit something that I don't know how to do, to make sure that the video and the audio sync up. Again, something I don't know how to do. Now, that said, I can learn. I'm not afraid of learning, but currently don't know how to do, so I'm not about to get into all of it. At any rate, Luke?
Yes?
What you got for us today, my friend?
Well, I went fencing for the first time in a while, and I had 10 matches and 10 losses subsequently. I'm quite sore, actually. But other than that, pretty hopeful for the future.
What, God, I'm trying to think, I don't know what the right word would be.
HEMA?
Well, no. I'm thinking weight class. So, if you think of a boxer or a wrestler.
Yeah.
They're in a weight class. For fencing, it's not so much a weight that I'm thinking, it's more of what swords were used and things of that nature. So what exactly did you do fencing-wise? Other than the obvious swinging a sword around. I don't mean to downgrade it either, but...
Oh, no, it's fine. That my mom does enough for that.
Well, the thing is, it's when I say swinging a sword around, I am meaning okay, literally, you're swinging the sword back and forth. You're blocking, you're parrying, you're striking, you're doing this, you're doing that. I know what you're talking about. other people would be like, "Oh, you're just doing nerdy swingy sword shit." No, no, no. I mean the literal thing.
No, we're doing so I jumped in a class to get back into it and everything
Okay.
else, and it was kind of time to start doing it again now that I've got a better shift.
Yeah.
And my health is on an upswing, so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take October. I'm gonna do it for the entire month. It's 4 classes a week, five
Nice.
if you count the double class. So I mean, it's a big commitment,
It is. That's a
but
lot to take on, especially basically going from 0 to 5. I guess is one way to look at it. But
oh, it's zero to at least 7.5 or 8 right now because we're in like a mid swing of like a tournament right now.
oh, okay,
So tonight was tournament prep. So
okay.
that meant that I was like cannon fodder for the whole night.
Ooh,
Um, because it's like, okay, well, Luke hasn't been here for a while. Um, and he obviously is pretty noob-like. So what's the best thing to do for an intermediate longsword or intermediate saber fencer to get back into it and not lose is to fight against a noob. Because noobs
they don't know the
will
drills.
win.
They don't know
Will
the
win.
drills. Yeah, they
So
don't.
like they say like a noob will lose against an untrained and an intermediate will lose against a noob.
I feel like, and I've heard this similar thought process before because as weird as it sounds or as counterintuitive as it sounds, what it is the more well trained person who's practiced drills over and over and over and over will be surprised when the lesser trained person pulls off some bullshit because you're like, whoa, I did not see that coming because it's not part of the normal drill routine, for lack of a better way to phrase it.
Yeah, like I pulled off like a point today that involved shooting the blade forward
Mm-hmm.
and then rotating it 180 degrees and then pulling the blade back towards my hip. So I don't know how you'd imagine that, but basically it's the blade is upwards and then it goes forward and then it rotates 180 degrees and then keeps rotating towards my hip. And I hit someone's hand with it and they stood there for a second, looked at their hand and went, "Can you do that?"
Let me
And I'm
tell
like,
you,
"Well,
there's
I
a
just
lot of
did."
medieval era knights that are going, yes, yes, you
Yeah,
can.
100%. 100%. And the ref, the person who was counting the scores, was like, yeah, point Nick. I didn't
Well,
get a lot more
congratulations
than
on
that.
however many points you earned tonight, being everybody
Not many.
else's sparring partner.
They just they wanted to destroy me for an hour and a half.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah. One of them, really fast, he wanted to because he saw me fence and he's like, okay, so he's I'm doing like adequate, but I'm completely gassed already.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah, Luke, do you wanna have a match?" And I'm like, oh, "Okay." And I already know that he's like tournament prep. He's like one of the favorites to win, like top 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he was merciless. He rushed me and everything. Like he tripped me to the ground a couple times. Like he was like really demonstrating that like, are you gonna give up or am I gonna
Am
like
I
keep
gonna have to
going
keep
at you?
beating the shit out of you?
Yeah, and he wanted to see if I could go like the 5 rounds with him. And at the end of it, he like pulls me up and we had that like bro moment of like, yeah, okay, so Luke is here to train and not just be a weakling.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Yeah. So it was kind of a cool time.
That's good though. That's good. It sounds like
Very sore.
congratulations on getting back into this heavy commitment thing. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah. And it won't be a detriment to the things that I'm already doing because it's just a localized couple hours every night. So
Right on, right on.
yeah.
Kane, I don't even know where to start. I'm just gonna go cold in. What you got for us?
I don't have a prompt or anything.
No, not. I mean, usually I'd throw in some sort of AP Gaming Reel reference, but I've already thrown one at you tonight. So
That's fair.
slim and
Uh,
slender. That's the only thing I can do is call back to it.
no, because we're recording, I'm not going to talk about anything we were talking about off camera, but that is what I'm reading about right now.
Are you diving into some of those definitions?
No, I'm comfortable with my definitions. I looked them up recently for another argument. I'm just looking at statistics,
Okay.
current events, all related around that.
Gotcha.
Getting caught up. I will
Yes.
not. I will give no opinions or anything else
Yes.
on a recording
No,
because
that is
it's not great for
absolutely
a recording.
proper.
Well, and the thing is like,
Oh, we're not. Nope.
Well, no, I'm just gonna say,
But-
generically speaking,
This
The
isn't
safest thing to
place
say is it is good to be caught up on current events.
this is
Yes,
probably true. But as we all know, I also
sometimes
very
when they
often
don't make you
skirt the
dumber for
line.
reading them.
What's
Yeah,
that, King?
you skirt the line.
I will say this: people can have their opinions. What they tend to lose sight on is that when they think that their opinion is more accurate, more right, or more just than the other person's opinion, that's when perhaps maybe everybody needs to take a step back, go smoke a cigarette, have a drink of something, and then maybe, possibly, probably not for the best, maybe wait a little longer, but maybe readdress. I'm just gonna leave it at
I
that.
don't know. Like, topics are difficult to talk about.
Oh yeah,
It's-
absolutely.
It seems to be a lost art to have two people walk into a conversation both open to the idea of changing their mind, even if neither of them do.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I've had my mind changed many times in many conversations because I didn't know any better, or in actually probably more accurately, I went into a conversation knowing that I don't know everything, so maybe I need to learn before I speak. But I'm pushing half a century on this fucking planet, so I'd like to think that there's some wisdom in there. But most of the people around me be like, no, there's no wisdom there. So
Also, to make a joke, did you just say like which weight class am I? Are you calling me fat?
no. I was trying to refer to, like, I don't know how to call it. I don't know what to call it in fencing as far as like the different breakdowns or divisions, or you know what I mean?
So there's a men's division, which women can compete in, and then there is a women's division that men can't compete in. That's the basic rule.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only other breakdown I was looking for is like using rapiers versus epées versus longsword versus whatever else there might be.
Oh, we
I
have
can't think
so many weapons. We have dussicks.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
I see you picked an obscure one intentionally.
Yeah, we have been known to foray into tomahawks. So I mean, like, so
Amazing.
just to be fair, we've done a little bit of a lot, and mostly our club will focus on like long sword, saber, rapier, small sword,
Okay.
and dusik. Dusik is like a short blade that has a blade going into the handle, like you know how like you have like a basket hilt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like instead of a basket hilt, it's just a more blade, and it's just blade all over it.
Okay. It's a blade because
Yeah.
you think you like blades, so you want blades on your blades.
You want a
Yo, dog.
handle and then blade.
That's where I was trying to go. I never quite get the verbiage right, but that was where I was going with it.
Yo, dog, I heard you like blades on your blades.
Yeah, so just more blade, like 10 inches more of blade going towards you. So I mean, that's effective.
All right.
Now we know why he picked Assault Marine.
Right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
We're revealing a little bit of that.
Well, we had one hell of a last episode that I don't quite remember all the details, but I do remember very specific things like the Queen alien at that, taking over Pike's mind briefly, and giving him a vision of when a UPP platoon was harassing the bejesus out of his platoon, and the impression of Lieutenant Eckhart saying, I'm not going to make it out of here unless you kill those UPP over there. Except when
And I was the UPP over there.
when Pike fired on the UPP, it was actually Corporal Winston that took the shots. And because it was already low atmosphere going into no atmosphere, Winston had no choice, no chance to prevent himself from asphyxiating. Also, mind you, Wescott took a shot for Winston and now is, I believe, on 1 health.
Yep.
Also, because of all the stress and panic and everything else going on, our boys Watts and Warren are in absolute shit. I forget which one, so let me go
But
look.
we can't forget that the last thing poor Wescott just did was jump on Pike over there and slap a patch on the hole in the front of his spacesuit caused by acid.
Yes, that too. Yes.
Yeah, so she had to do that.
I'm sorry, Warren and who?
Watts. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
Who?
yeah, exactly. That's
Ooh.
exactly what's going on. Watts. Is it Watts? It's this guy here. Yeah. Watts has absolutely lost every bit of memory, and there's no telling whether or not it's going to come back.
Are we past the 10-minute mark yet?
Oh yeah, we're at the 20-minute mark.
His new theme song is "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
That's pretty much it. But also, Warren is currently broken. If I'm not mistaken, he's currently broken.
Did we roll on that?
He's on the ground, unconscious.
He's at
did,
0 hit
yes.
points, and he already took his crit because he's just winded.
Which, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, means he is still broken.
He's still down.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
still down. Somebody has
I-
regardless of what the crit is, somebody has to medical aid to pick you back up.
Yeah.
I do have second wind, actually, now that I think of it.
Yeah, you kind of forgot
Okay.
to use that at the appropriate time.
Well,
No, it's too late.
Is second win a time-based thing?
But
You have to do
he just went down, right? It was 'cause
Yeah,
he
it was like at
failed
the end of the
reflex.
near the end of the last round.
I mean, we've done nothing since he fell over, really. We just did those resolving rolls, so
Yeah.
could he make his
And
roll?
yeah, we'll allow that roll in a moment. And more importantly, throughout the entire space station, it feels like an earthquake has taken place. Now, normally, when you are knocked sideways, you have visual references here on Earth. You have senses on Earth that will tell you something's not fucking right because everything is sideways. Usually, those little bones in your ears give you very clear indicators that something is not right, TM. You're in space, you have none of that. You have an artificial gravity field, of course, to give you an idea of which way is down, but that's just been shuttered all to shit because it feels like you're swimming and you're in an earthquake. Except you know intellectually that you're in a space station in the middle of space. What you don't know, and I'm going to tell you out of character what has happened, is one of the 3 ships that you observed on your ingress, one of them has just slammed into the docks.
I think 2 of us, we watched it through the windows.
Actually, yes. Yeah, you're right. 2 of you that survived in the mess hall fight, you did see that. Yes, I apologize. Now, Watts and Warren don't know what happened. Watts is completely clueless. He is a dandelion in a grass field right now. At best. I don't know why I used that analogy, but it just popped up. Warren, completely disoriented, has no idea what's going on because he is, in a very real sense, struggling just to stay alive. His body has gone into survival mode, and that is the only thing it can consider, the only thing it can do. Warren, go give us that. What's the word I'm looking for?
Stamina?
Second, whatever the hell. Second wind?
Second wind.
I don't know why. My brain could not think of it.
Okay, so roll for stamina.
Is that what it is? I believe that's what it is.
And you heal
Uh-oh.
2 health.
1, 2.
Oh, the panic doesn't count for this, does it?
No.
No? Okay.
I was going to say, because this is one of those special rolls that stress...
It's basically a saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now that also makes him aware, alert, etc., correct? Am I crazy?
It makes them relatively alert and aware.
Prone and wheezy.
Yeah, I mean, he's got problems,
And-
for sure.
Currently broken.
No, you have 2 hit points.
You have hit
You're not
points
broken.
again.
No, I mean, like, broken emotionally.
Oh, yeah, emotionally.
Oh, yeah, for
you're,
sure.
You're fucking gone. You got, like, how many is that? 8, 9 stress dice?
8 stress dice and a panic 10.
Yeah, things are not going well for you, my friend. And it's about to get worse.
No,
Yeah,
we should
it's-
probably send the medic to go give you some nap relief.
Yeah.
That's funny that you say that.
It's very funny.
God, it even got even funnier when I just dry panned. That's funny that you would say that. Oh man, give me just a second here, guys. Oh man, let me get my notes and stuff reorganized. Take into account what's going on here. This is
It's probably a good thing that Warren is awake because Watts is basically useless right now. He is about to be seriously manipulated by those 2 prisoners he has.
Oh, right.
So, considering that every buddy, like the combat is ended, and like this new mysterious event has occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Would it, should we stop the combat tracker?
I'm gonna leave it open for now. And the reason for that is because not so much that combat is going to continue, specifically combat. Combat may or may not be rejoined pretty quick.
But usually we do a re-roll for initiative.
You know what? That's a fair point.
Begins.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. That is indeed a fair point. So I'm going to end combat.
I like fair points.
Combat may or may not be rejoined. I'm trying to see because I'm not finding the information I want. Just a moment here. No, we don't need to worry about that one. We don't need to worry about that one. This one.
It's kind of strange not seeing my character in the 2nd Platoon Kilo Company.
Well, we moved him, remember?
I know. It's kind of weird.
Okay. All right.
Warren has to hold off the situation till we can get reinforced so we can deny Omar player kills. Only players kill players in this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
True that.
So I thought
Also not wrong,
about
but
what
wow.
happens to Warren. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Warren is horrible, no good, very bad time.
Warren? Yeah, he's having a rough go.
Sorry, I'm trying to find something in here. I'm not finding what I'm looking for. So that could be a slight problem. Not one that I can't get around, but
Where did Watts go?
he ran off.
Or am I just... Oh, he's over
I
there.
don't remember what
Okay.
caused him to... I think he had a panic moment that caused him to flee or some shit like that.
Yeah, everyone was having a terrible time.
Oh, yeah. It was horrible. It was
He
absolutely
had to
horrible.
flee, and then when he ran to the end of the hallway, he didn't remember where he was anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you deleted a couple of the UPP. And
May have.
this looks like a bloodbath.
It very literally was. Somebody went on a stab spree.
You know, the worst part is Pike would have been so proud of Watts, except Watts doesn't have any memory of what he just did.
Yeah. And Watts is going to have video footage to sit through and be like, holy shit, we need to save this guy. God damn it, I'm not finding the NPCs I want.
Where? Like,
Are you whining that I'm about to throw more adversaries at you?
when you say it like that, it makes it sound like we're about to fight an entire platoon.
No. No.
That's why I'm whining.
No, not a whole
I'd like
platoon.
to at least have one of my characters make it out of here. Still mad about that whole freaking Watts rolled amnesia instead of Wescott.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be the second player death, I think, as much as the first one.
I'll probably be the third right after you, so don't feel alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think really the question here is, can Pike make it out so the campaign continues?
I mean, what movie are we on right now?
Movie?
4?
This
We're on
is
the fourth
mission.
mission.
Yeah, this is mission
Fourth mission?
4, I believe.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
I think
mission 5 starts with the whole new cast.
Yeah, there's 2 more missions and then the final mission. So 3 missions basically.
This is the movie where we rewrote the script because we couldn't renew the contracts on some of the actors.
All of them.
That was good.
This is starting to feel it.
This
off
is
well,
like
Starship Troopers
yeah.
3 now.
Yeah, this is exactly when you go from season 1 to season 2 and you're like, who the fuck is that guy? Oh, he's playing that? What happened to the guy that played him last season?
I'm thinking of Starship Troopers 3.
Oh,
Did they not, when they didn't get
Where Casper Van Dien was the only person who was playing the same character. All the other characters came back with different actors.
oh
for the
wow.
movie. So it was just
Oops.
Rico.
Ignore
Everyone
that
else
ping.
was weird.
everyone else was weird.
Which one was Starship Troopers 3? Now that I'm
That's the one
distracted.
where they had the musical.
I don't remember the musical.
Oh, buddy. It's
Yeah,
not a
I
very
feel
good
like I
movie.
should remember the musical too.
It's not a very good movie.
I
I've
don't
seen
imagine.
it. I know that much. I've
That's the one where they
seen.
had the Beatles that would roll on the ground with the arcing electricity and suicide bomb.
Oh my
Maybe I
god.
haven't seen it recently enough. All right. Hopefully you didn't see what I was doing there.
And then at the end, we have the gratuitous nudity scenes again, so that they can get put in their Marauder mech suits.
I do remember the Marauder thing because that was like the central
That's
theme or whatever of the movie.
that's the third movie.
Yeah, I remember the Marauder idea or whatever, but I just don't remember all of that. At any rate, where do we begin? We've got Watts and Warren down on the lowest portion of the station. We've got Pike, Wescott, an android, and two dead human bodies. One of them that looks suspiciously like Winston.
A melted android.
Did we kill the android? I don't remember.
Yeah, we
He got
did.
doused-
You
he got
killed him with
doused in
acid, bro.
Well, that changes my ideas for how this continues. All right, shifting gears. So, yeah, Pike,
All right.
Wescott, and I think that's it. Everybody else is basically dead or destroyed. And a fucking massive alien creature also dead via
I'm gonna
knife wounds, I believe.
I'm gonna reload. I'm on Nova. I'm super focused.
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna start reloading my DMR while I head to the elevator to go to the bottom floor. I'm not even gonna say anything to Wescott. I'm just gonna start walking.
I
At the end
I
of last
followed
session-
behind him.
At the end of last session, I did establish that I tethered the queen so that the trophy wouldn't float out the window.
I vaguely recall that, yes.
Yeah, so I grabbed my bag with my bound hands as we walked by.
Oh, yes. Oh, you're still bound, too. I forgot about that.
I just follow him around with my stuff, and I just hand out the bag with guns to Pike.
Here, take the magazine.
No, no. I'm literally going, here, more ammo.
I'm laying
Because he
here
hasn't
dead.
given me permission to take my stuff back yet, so I'm handing him the bag of ammo.
But your soldier that you restrained because she at one point was also under the control of an alien mind influence is still restrained. Would you like to do anything about that? Or are you going to keep her strung up? Even though you know that for a moment, something weird happened to you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm on Nova. And a ship just crashed into the station, and that is all I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah.
I'm using the hyper-focus thing. You told me I was
No,
going to be hyper-focused.
No, you're good.
Until she says, hey, can you let me out of these zip cuffs? It's not going to occur to Pike that there's a problem, because he's focused on the ship.
Yeah, I think she's gonna have to. Because,
when we get to the elevator and I hit the call button, you could be like, can I...
Yeah. She's gonna be standing there with her bag of gear, like, tucked into the corner behind the Pike that is taking over space. Because I doubt these are very large elevators.
No, probably not.
Well, look,
Lauren, as the elevator is going up to the second floor, you...
Yeah.
What's going on with Warren right now? Like, what's in his head? What are his thoughts? What are his feelings?
Well, what's in his hand is
what I asked, but please continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
His head is currently going into the we're probably not getting off this piece of metal, and he notices that there's probably something that crashed into the station, and in fear decides to use the motion tracker in that direction.
Well played. Go ahead and make
just a power roll. We'll see if it runs out.
Well, yeah. Do the power roll first for the what you call it. I'm not entirely sure how you have to do that. I know mechanically how it's done. I don't know what you have to do in Foundry to roll that, other than just rolling a bunch of dice and see how many sixes pop up.
Yeah, there was a way of doing it. Give me 1 second.
Oh, there's a power button on your character sheet.
Yeah,
I think that applies to like your armor or your suit's power.
Yeah. Motion tracker.
Oh, if you just click on the number in your inventory in the power column, it should roll your power.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see, like I just rolled for my yeah, just to test it.
Power. I don't see it. I
It's in-
see power in the
Yeah.
consumables.
Right. So if you go to your inventory tab, you can see there's a power
Inventory.
column,
Oh, god damn it, I'm dumb.
No,
and
you just don't know any better. Now
you
you
just
do.
Yeah.
match your X and your yeah, you go.
Oh wow.
That battery's not very good.
you got one of them well-used, often recharged batteries.
This is a battery
You
that stayed on the charger for 2 years and was never taken off.
Yeah. You are getting what looks like
So it'll automatically update the number. He doesn't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah, your motion tracker is absolutely picking shit up in a weird, not necessarily a coherent pattern, but there is definitely some airflow disruption at the almost molecular level. Which sounds weird because you're in the airlock itself, but there's definitely some, not necessarily breaches in the hull, but it's definitely picking something up that's triggering the motion detector capabilities. At about the same time, the green light above the airlock doors clicks to red, an alarm flashes, alarm sound, and the air is being cycled out. You are still in your spacesuit, if I'm not mistaken. Your spacesuit, I believe, is still intact. I could be wrong. I think you're okay if you decide that you want to stay in here. You've got about a second to hop out. I realize airlocks don't quite work this way, but let's just hand wave it for the rule of cool. If you want to get out of the airlock and into the main station proper before the air pressure drops too low to seal the airlock door, you can. I'm not going to force you to be stuck in here while this is happening. But it is cycling now.
So who had what on Warren's Deadpool?
Oh, I had that Warren makes it out of the campaign.
Oh, you're not winning
He
this
was
one.
being generous.
What did you put, Rodance?
I'm double checking. Warren dies doing something dumb. Based on that vagueness, I'm pretty sure it means extra dumb.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, he's torn between something and another option. I'm gonna roll an empathy roll.
Ooh, what is he going to do?
Don't forget to turn off stress, since this isn't like a skill check.
Yeah. I'm gonna write in chat. You're just gonna tell me if it's too dark.
I
no,
like dark, so go for it.
I just shot your character in the face and been talking about shooting another one in the face behind the shed. I don't think dark is a problem in this campaign.
All right, fine. All right, so he's rolling an empathy to see if he keeps his wits together or if he succumbs.
Okay.
You mean he's gonna join the Pike side?
Nope.
Oh, I know where he's going with this. Okay, that is a success for any other mechanic in the game. What does that mean for what you're thinking for your character? I'm thinking it means he's going to continue fighting.
Yeah, he is going to continue fighting. So he's going
because I know the alternative was incredibly dark, like black armband dark.
Very. So he picks up his pulse rifle and says, "All right, fine, throw more stuff at me."
It's like,
and
fuck it, bring it on, universe.
Yeah, without being as loud because I have people sleeping.
Yeah, well, I'm good for the moment.
Okay. I don't think I can do a quick observation to see where my knife is, eh?
I will allow it.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Actually, hold on.
Do you want to risk it?
Here's the question. Actually, this is what happens.
Or is it your emotional support pulse rifle enough for you?
So here's what happens.
Support knife.
Warren, here's what happens with your knife. You see the knife on the floor where it fell.
Okay.
you see the door. The door is not like cycling closed Indiana Jones style or anything silly like that. But there is a counter right next to the door. You do not have enough time to grab the knife and get through the door before it seals because of the gradually reducing pressure of air and atmosphere.
Yep.
You must choose. Do you grab the knife to defend yourself in a vacuum? Or do you say, fuck the knife and get out so you don't have to fight in a vacuum? It's obvious for those that may have missed this that somebody is trying to get inside the station right now.
Yes. So I grab emotional support knife in left hand, emotional support rifle in right hand, and I face the door.
Okay.
Murder funnel style.
All right.
It opens.
Where exactly in this room is Warren going to stand when the air depletes and that outer door opens?
He's going to be right there where his knife fell. I
so
guess
he's going to be right where his
amount of
icon
time
is?
left.
His token, I mean? Okay. All right. Pike, Wescott, like any elevator, it only takes a few seconds to go from one floor to the very next floor. You have a few seconds to discuss things if you like. Pike is not talking. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's probably not talking. He is super hyper-aware focused.
He's not going to start this conversation, at least.
So, Wescott, you have a moment to plead your
Staff
case.
Sergeant Pike, can I have unbound, please?
Can I has unbound? What are we, a cat begging for treats?
So he looks for
he looks for what his state is.
He looks for a second, and then he looks over at the Queen, and he looks back and says, "Do you think that's what was doing it to us?"
Make a wits roll if you want the answer.
Okay, fine.
Otherwise, you can infer whatever you like.
I can't. It's the other clicky. No stress.
It's just a memory check.
There you go. So here's what happens. When he asks you, do you think it was the Queen that did this shit? Now, out of character, we all know it was the fucking Queen, right? In character, what happens, though, is you have a flash. Oh, did I just spoilerize my own content? What happens, Rodance?
Christmas is ruined.
What happens is Wescott hears Pike say, "Do you think it was the Queen that did this," or what have you? And when he says that, she gets a flash of one of the myriad of images that were cycling along the screens while when she was working to shut off the relay. And when you had entered the final keystroke and you looked up, the image you got was the image of one of your sisters. And that was what had locked you into your fugue state that you have zero recollection of, except the most vaguest impressions of a mother and of sisters. What makes you think, with 3 successes though, that it had to be the Queen was when you watched Pike stutter step and turn around and shoot Winston. Pike would never have done that. You know that. Pike might have murdered a teammate, but that's not how he would have done it. Not in a million years. The blatant, cold disregard for his own not going to jailness, the fact he did it in front of so many other people, any other people for that matter, speaks volumes to how uncharacteristic it was. And it starts to make you wonder, what were you about to do when you weren't in control? And the only logical conclusion is it had to have come from the Queen or the computers.
Makes sense.
Of course it is. That's exactly what happened. I'm trying to play it up.
She'd say, yeah. Queen. Monster. Alien thing.
He'll pull out his knife and cut the zip cuff off of one wrist.
She shuffle guns, shuffle grenades, shuffle hands some extra ammo to Pike.
Oh, he doesn't need extra ammo.
He's
Oh, I
about to go
thought you,
fist fuck somebody.
But he's yeah, after you start doing that, the moment has passed.
Mhm.
And he just looks and says, that ship's not ours. We need to reinforce the other team. We didn't run into almost any security either, so that probably waist deep in people.
Yep.
Ding!
Status.
Warren,
Uh.
you hear on your radio as you hear two things, and these are the last sounds you hear. As far as anything that you can hear outside of your own breathing. One is the ding of the elevator. Two is Pike's words. Status. At the same time, the air has finished depressurizing, being vacated.
Oh.
The door begins to open, revealing a whole fuck ton of people, led by a woman.
But he readied an ambush.
He did. So, you have... I'm not 100% sure how surprise works in this system, so this is what I'm going to argue. In lieu of something better, i.e. Kane showing me a better way, the first round is yours. You can do a full auto mag dump right now and probably take out 2 or 3 of them easily. I will say
fast
this.
reflexes.
Yeah, so here's what I want to describe. There is a woman, as you can see, the Mother Mishka token. That's exactly what she looks like. The 6 people behind her, I mean, mind you, all 7 of them are wearing some form of vac suit. They're not exactly the most bulky. They're not exactly the most streamlined. You know, we're not wearing something like from The Expanse, but they're not wearing the big, bulky 1960s astronaut vac suit either. But they do look like they've got a little bit of mobility. They are all armed with what appears to be knockoff or cheap or last generation AK-47s. Not very well maintained, but they are armed with assault rifles for all intents and purposes. You have the jump on them. If you want to make an attack roll, this would be the time to do it. You may also wish to say something to your boss. But before you do that, Watts, who has no clue that he's even fucking Watts or where in the fucking universe he is. What is going on right now with Watts?
Just heard a weird voice in his ear, too.
He did hear a voice say status, and he did hear a ding from down the hallway, and he may have even heard something to the effect of exterior airlock cycling.
There's a living prisoner or 2 down there.
Yeah.
And he's covered
that he just abandoned.
And he's covered in blood.
Covered in blood.
He's covered in blood. Carrying military gear.
He is currently chilling in this corner over here, having a what the fuck is all this moment. And I don't know how sensitive those mics are, but if it auto picks it up, you are hearing him talk.
I think the comms are live. Am I crazy? I felt like they were live. Okay.
Sure.
And he might go from very low muttering to much louder when he hears a voice in his head, because he doesn't probably remember what a radio is.
I think the initial, like, what the fuck would be kind of quiet, right? But then he hears status, and he's like, what the fuck? What is going, oh my god, what? I don't know. And he's like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine what I'd be like if I was suddenly amnesiac.
Pike says status, and he lets out one really loud, what the fuck?
That definitely
as he's
goes
sitting
over
over there, like, with his back against the wall, like, just trying to figure out what's going on, like, patting himself down and going, like, what is all this? Moment.
And that definitely goes over the comm system.
Yeah.
Are we going into initiative?
I'm gonna go back. I wanted to make sure we didn't forget about Watts. Warren, you've got 7 people getting ready to come in the door. There is no atmospheric pressure. So as soon as that door opens, it's not like you're gonna be sucked out into space or anything silly like that. You've got the drop on them as far as you can tell.
Yep.
The door is creaking open. What do you do?
I am going to use all of my skills.
Okay, let's do it.
So firstly is hug the dirt. I'm going to prop myself behind Buddy here.
One of the dead UPP guys. Got it.
Yeah, and I'm going to use him hopefully as a shield as I prop up the rifle and start shooting. Second thing I'm going to do...
I'll preemptively look up the rules for that for when it comes around to shooting at you.
Oh, the hugging the dirt?
Hugging the dirt is forcing an
cover.
attacker to.
Oh,
Yeah.
How much armor that body's going to be worth?
I think it's like one
I don't know
die.
about the body, but the medium range or more will take a -2 modification. Going into prone does not require an action.
Okay. What else you got for me?
The next thing is I'm going to be using fast reflexes eventually.
Okay. And that lets you
Which is
do what exactly?
2 initiative cards instead of 1 during the initiative draw, and choose the one that you want, and shuffle the other one back into the deck before the other draw their card.
Okay. So in other words, you get your initial initiative roll, and then you'll have a second one. However,
Yeah.
however, we have to do it mechanically for Foundry, which I think is you'll do the initial initiative roll when I click the button for everybody, and then you'll do a separate 1d10 roll and take the better one you want.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Second thing is I noticed that this might be bad taste. But I am not actually going to fire my gun into them.
Okay.
How much of a room is this separate from my room?
I mean, once that door opens, because they crashed their ship into that umbilical dock port, think of like a gangway, right? Or like the corridor from the airport to the aircraft.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what's there. And it's only about 20 or so feet, 30, 40 feet, 20 or 30 feet. And instead of being a nice clean seal with your skiff, it is now a mangled, half-assed. There is no seal. They've just got their one docking port lined up with the other end of the corridor. That one compartment of their ship is depressurized, and they're just coming through, and the door is opening right now.
All right.
So
well,
it's not so much a room as it is an area that happens to have 4 surfacey bits around it. The tunnel, if you will.
So my next talent that I'm using is Watchful.
Okay.
Which is the hairs on your back of your neck stand up when enemies lurk nearby. You get a +2 modification to observe when you're trying to spot a sneak attack. Are they attacking me?
They are approaching unaware that you are waiting for them. And they are within a few feet of the door. And the door is opening, as I've mentioned a couple times.
All right, then.
So you have the chance right now. If you want to engage them, you can. They don't quite notice you yet. And that seems like you just fired at something. Okay? All right. Wow. Okay. Would you like to push for more successes?
You have a chance to cancel the grenade if you push that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, because of how much stress he has? I gotta ask him though.
Yeah.
I gotta be the GM that dangles the sweet and the bad.
So now that I succeeded at least one, that does go into effect, and they get 9 damage into the middle of the group, right?
Okay,
I am pretty sure it's 9 damage for each of them.
So, which person was your target?
This one right here, or this one right here, right in front of me. I would have to say like center of group.
So you were trying to get. I would imagine, tactically speaking. I'm sorry.
You're picking a person, because even if you miss, it will go in the zone and blow up everyone in the zone. But which of these people do you think is the most important person?
I know it's this person, but I also kind of have the idea that I need to keep some of them sort of alive. So if she survives, I can probably offer them up to you. But I also don't believe everyone's going to survive, including me.
Ping which person? Whose feet were you aiming at? Okay. This guy needs to roll armor against 11 damage.
That's easy. He has no armor.
He takes 11 damage.
All right.
That's part 1. We gotta let him resolve that first.
Yeah.
Okay, now roll 9d6. Because I believe these are blast 9.
They are blast 9.
So roll 9d6.
And is that how many people?
Hold on.
Okay.
Gotta get that roll.
/ roll 96 if you want to make it easy.
So I have to roll it?
Yeah. You were the grenadier here. Let me put this on found. So that is
No successes. So nobody else. So everybody's rolling armor against 0 damage. He put it between
0
that guy's
damage.
feet, and that meat sack absorbed the whole blast.
yeah, pretty much. I think that's what happens. Is the grenade is well placed to take out one, but he does soak all the damage, and nobody has armor for some stupid fucking reason.
I'm gonna double check, but that's how I've run grenades, and that's how I think they're supposed to work.
It works for me.
Okay. I'm reading up on them right now. So damage 9, blast 9, medium range when used as a hand grenade, designed for the U1 and U4 grenade launcher. High explosive dual purpose M40 can also be used as a hand grenade. To use these U1 rounds as thrown explosive, the red plastic cap must be removed and the trigger under depressed. 3 seconds later, the grenade will explode. The UPP has an equivalent made by Norcom. Neato.
I'm just waiting for Kane to come back with a final answer before I progress here.
I still have one, by the way.
I'm sorry?
Double check, make sure we're handling the last correct.
I still have one
One
more.
Thing?
No, I still have one more grenade.
Oh, gotcha. That grenade, while Kane is confirming things,
Yep.
that grenade is actually pretty fucking wild, right? So, like, the dude ate a lot of the blast. There are still fragments of shrapnel that just... I mean, obviously, there's shrapnel going out. Go ahead.
The other Discord is going to be really mad at me. So your successes only apply to the primary target. The blast rating is the flat damage applied to everybody else in the zone. So everybody else took 9 damage.
That could be a problem. Well, let me just do this. 6 bodies hit the floor. Well, they don't really hit the floor. They kind of go scattering off into space because your grenade disrupts the physical structure connection between the umbilical cord / docking corridor, I should say, and their ship. Yep. They don't go flying off into space. There's enough of a gravity field still on this pad, or whatever you want to call it, that keeps that from happening. But they are definitely fucking dead.
Nice.
This young lady-looking person, on the other hand, is not a human. This becomes evident when instead of red viscous blood, it is white milky shit flying from her wounds. Kane, off the top of my head, I don't remember broken android shits.
Are you considering her heroic enough to not die like a mook?
Correct.
Then she's going to take a
critical.
Roll a d6.
Okay. Well,
no, that's the wrong one. Because it's
they
only
have
a
their
1 to 6.
Check.
So her sheet's not set up to be an android.
Yeah, because androids have a different table, I think.
No, you're right, they do, and I didn't think about that. So,
I don't think she can be disemboweled.
Just roll 1d6.
I think that's good for me.
Ruptured fluid pump. She loses her next slow action.
All right, I'm going to do some GM hand waving / you can read that as I'm breaking the rules. Yeah. She gets fucked up when this grenade goes off. We're kind of going into more of a cinematic approach here, right?
I love it.
So what happens is you fire off this grenade at these 7 people. You watch as that grenade immolates one of them entirely. Just becomes not necessarily a cloud of ash a la Infinity War, but it definitely fucks him up. There's no argument there. What happens then at about the same time is the other 5, what you now know as the other 5 humans, is they all get just fucking shredded. It's like if you took a block of Jell-O that had a little bit more rigidity to it and maybe some solid bits thrown inside, and then you just shredded it. into a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then you shoved all the contents of that bowl through a fan and watched it splatter all over the place. That's what just happened to all these bodies. And that's actually a pretty graphic description. This lady that you expect for no other reason than humanoid, why wouldn't she be a human? Instead of seeing the red blood, gore, and viscera and whatnot, you see white shit flying out everywhere. You clearly have damaged this android. And in your moment of shock of, holy fuck, that's an android, you're in a vacuum. You can't hear shit. But you swear to God, you hear her hiss at you like a wounded, snarling, frightened cat animal beast thing. And she bolts. As best as a busted up android can bolt, it's not a graceful gait. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But she hauls ass back to her ship.
But she hauls ass slowly because we ruptured that pump.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
And I don't have time to do anything. Got it.
Yeah. This is where I'm hand waving / GM cinematic bullshit because I need her to survive. She can't ever just die like that.
Sure you can. Just improv a bit.
Yeah, well, she's gonna run away because she realizes, oh fuck, this is not working. Makes it back onto her ship, like hanging on to the edge, right, of the thing as she's presumably radioing to the pilot saying, get us the fuck out of here. Aboard. We're fucked. Excuse me. Pike, in the time it takes for you to walk from the elevator, off the elevator, you hear an explosion. No, I take that back. You wouldn't hear the explosion. There's a grenade that goes off in a vacuum very close to what's not a vacuum. I don't know how the physics on that would work. Between you and where the grenade went off, there is no vacuum. There is atmosphere. But in the area where the grenade went off, there was no vacuum. Or no, God damn it. You know what I'm trying to describe. I'm fucking overthinking it.
You would feel an unusual bit of rumbling in the deck plates, and that's about it.
Yeah, there is definitely the impression of something weird.
So
I've
stepped off the bottom. Sorry. I've stepped off the elevator to where I'm pinging and heard the boom.
Basically,
the boom, or sensed a boom.
Yeah, it was certainly within the time that you come off the elevator and get about here.
Oh, you had to move our tokens, by the way.
I just realized that. Yeah, sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Where are your tokens? There they are.
Here.
Well, one of them's. It's probably more like. Oh, I've got some artifacting. I'll let it still cycle through.
Yes, I am currently using Pike as a body shield.
I don't blame you.
I'm just following him around behind him like a little duckling.
By the time you get to the sealed interior airlock door, the grenade has gone off. The lots of dead body parts are splattering everywhere, and there is a blonde woman that you could very briefly see through a very small eye slit in the door disappearing onto the ship, and you can see very minimally that a ship has just left.
How many dice penalty would you give me since you've given me an opportunity?
What are you going to try to do?
Shoot through the crack. What's my penalty for that crazy shot?
Oh, that would be wild. Because
here's
the thing, you do realize, of course, your Nova does not affect shooting.
Yeah. It doubles my agility.
It doubles your physical aspects.
Agility is a physical aspect.
I hear you. What I'm pointing out is it doesn't affect your aim, but it would if you wanted to smash somebody with the weapon, with the sniper rifle.
That would be a strength?
Well, that would be strength, yes. But what I'm getting at is the aiming part of shooting is a very much mental aspect. And the Nova affects the physicality. Does that make sense?
I would argue that since you have told me that I am so insanely super focused on one thing at a time.
You know what?
That
Fuck it. I will allow it, but you're gonna have a -4 just for the slits. You're gonna have another 2 because you're restraining yourself from bashing through the door because that's what you want to do, but shooting through the door seems to make more sense for the reach out and smack somebody.
All right.
Because
So
rushing through the door would do it.
I'm
Minus
at a total
six.
negative
Minus six. And I know I can get away with that because you've got like 50 fucking dice you're about to throw at me. And you're going to kill my NPC that I need to stay alive.
These are the
I'm
ones,
about
right?
to I'm about to kill her myself.
I had a player who wanted to shoot at a hovering dropship to hit the pilot, and I was like, "You're going to have to do enough damage to go through the armor rating of the vehicle, and you're going to have to make a shot against an obscure target." And he rolled with this huge penalty, and he did it, and that became one of the most important things he ever did with the character because it's so unlikely.
That is a success. You pushed it? For a total of, what are we looking at? Like 6 damage?
6 successes, so that's 8 damage. And she's broken, so it's just another critical roll.
Yeah.
Which pushes it down to a 2, which is...
I was going to say, doesn't that change similar to panic that bumps it up to the next one, isn't it?
I blew her leg off.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. Now, mind you, you're looking through something about yay big, right? And you pop the shot off. You're not even sure exactly how the hell you managed it because you can't even iron sight that, right? Let alone scope it because of the displacement between the scope and the muzzle. Are you shooting a second shot at her?
I have the rapid shot, so I'm double tapping.
And let me guess, you're in overkill, so stress doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna choose to trigger overkill. I am gonna run dry on the rifle though.
Okay.
So that's another 8 damage. So that's another critical roll.
Yep. And there's a 3.
I just hand him another magazine of ammo.
You tap him on the thigh. Here you go. What's a 3 do?
I blew an arm off.
Yeah. Somehow in the span, so like when you looking through, so first, again, I want to point out, it's hard as fuck to even try to iron sight this because the displacement between the iron sight and the muzzle and the size of the viewport that you have to look through and shoot
You
through.
did give him a viewport.
Huh?
You did give him a viewport.
Yeah. But even still, like the height difference between where the muzzle would go and where the sights are, let alone his fat ass scope that he's got on there. It's really tricky to figure out how to get that right angle to see and shoot and pop off 2 rounds that not only hit but sever body parts. As the ship is doing one of these and getting the fuck out of here and moving away. And somehow this motherfucker did it.
All right, before it moves away, because I radio to Kane, and I'm like, permission to pursue.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Fuck it, let's go with the rule of cool. This is gonna be amazing.
Pike responds with tether and jump.
Got it. I use my harpoon gun.
Okay, what are you doing with your harpoon gun?
I
want you. Hear me out. I'm picturing 2 options, right? Using the harpoon gun to like secure yourself to the station, and then like basically jump off into the void, using the harpoon gun to reel you back in when you're done, or the opposite: shoot the lady with the harpoon gun and bring her in like she's a fish.
Well, is the second one an option?
Theoretically,
how much of her is still visible versus the ship at this point?
I'm gonna say, well, here's what I need to know. What is your plan? Because I feel like at the very least a mobility roll is going to be needed in order to stay, for lack of a better way to phrase it, stay in the fight versus the amount of acceleration that the ship is using to get away.
Okay. So the first thing is first, I'm on the ground, so Pike had no way to shoot me.
Well,
Second thing is getting up is a fast action.
Hold on. Stand by. This is amazing. I got hit by 2 people at once, and it was blocked. Likely harasser restricted.
Oh, nice.
2 of them that just popped up. Anyway, please continue. Since I don't have to do anything with them.
So getting up is a fast action.
Okay.
And I guess I probably could Harpoon the
The lady.
what do you call those? The lady, yeah, or the ship, whichever one gets pretty much my harpoon at this point. So I mean, it's either lady or I miss and hit ship.
Or you miss and it goes into the void, and then eventually, because of physics, the harpoon angly bitsy sharp pointy bits come flinging their way back at you. Actually, I'm not sure if that's how it would work, but fuck it, that's what I'm gonna do. So, first thing I want is mobility roll to, for lack of a better way to put it, again, stay in the fight because the ship is so much faster than you, period.
Okay.
So mobility roll, no penalties or whatever, but you will use your stress dice, of course.
Yeah. Which is at 8.
Okay. This will be entertaining for me. Maybe not so much for you.
I don't think I can make it with the 8 stress dice.
You think the chances of getting the panic roll in there is too high?
Yeah, and then
you're right. I shouldn't say it is too high. It is certainly elevated.
It's very high. I'm panic 10 and I'm stress dice 8. I have nerves of steel. That's not going to help me here if I roll even 1.
Yeah, and you already have a permanent affliction.
Yeah, you have a really high chance of getting another trauma.
So yeah, I'm gonna roll over and just lay there and say sorry, Staff Sergeant Pike, I can't make it.
Yeah, I mean, like in character, you could easily counter with, "I thought I had a shot. It's moving too fast." Nobody will ever know the lengths at which you were about to go, and what brought you back from doing it.
All because of an empathy roll.
Yeah, because earlier that empathy roll could have changed who was coloring the walls. Too dark? Was that too dark? That might have been very dark.
No, but hilarious nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean that lack of merciless, man.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, no merciless.
But he's the good guy of the party.
He is, and he's not gonna get merciless. He's not gonna get merciless.
All right, I need to refresh Foundry because I've got some artifacting going on with Pike's character, so bear with me just for a minute. But you guys do have a moment now because it seems as though things have calmed down for a moment as the whatever ship the lady and her friends came in on is literally hauling ass away. And it seems as though the team is finally reunited. Or at least on the same level for the time being.
Yeah, that's definitely where the fuck is Watts?
Yeah, I'm gonna open the I expected, because fight through here, I'm expecting Watts to be in here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cycle and open so I can get in here.
Okay. Yep. You
and I'll
yeah, Pike, when you cycle the airlock and you go in and it's like there's 2 dead UPP commandos, it looks like they have been literally pincushioned to death. And there's Watts, not looking good when you look in his faceplate.
Two guys who are stabbed profusely, and then
the
limbs drifting.
Did I say Watts? I meant
That's
Warren.
Warren, bro.
I'm sorry. You know you guys did this to me, right?
Yeah. So I imagine he sees the 2 pincushion guys right there with Warren, and then he sees the limbs bouncing around inside the umbilical. And he just holds a hand down to pick Warren up. He's gonna go for the man shake pickup.
You mean that he can just pick him up completely?
Well, he could, but
his feet?
yeah.
He could, but he's doing he's acknowledging him. It's not manhandling.
Yeah. Okay, I accept that and get up on my accord.
Warren, what is going through your mind right now? You have been through shit. From the moment you have put foot on deck plate in the station, it's been a fight. This whole fucking time has been a horrific fight. Your panic level, mechanically, is astronomically high. But, your emotions, you definitely feel like you're going to need some sort of recreational activity. And I don't mean a recreational activity. I'm talking about recreational chemical to come back down from this bullshit. And then you look around and you realize Where the fuck is Watts? Where the fuck did Watts run off to?
I would like to, like, he gets himself up with the help instead of being manhandled. And Pike's just going to look at him and say, good fucking shit. And I would like to roll command to cancel his panic condition.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Warren,
can
you
click
hear
that shit
Pike?
out.
Yeah, Warren, you hear Pike hit you with that good fucking shit in that fatherly tone that you never knew you needed.
Oh, that's nice. It's no longer red and panic mode buttons.
And yet that thought still lingers. Where the fuck is Watts?
Yeah,
We,
yeah.
Watts. He
Click.
did
Watts
everything.
report. Click.
Watts does not answer. You hear something that sounds like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Where am I? What's going on? But it's like super low. It's like you're not even sure if you're saying it right. You're not even sure if these are the right words to use. You're not even sure if that's really how you feel. But you are absolutely confused as fuck.
I want to hand the 2 Napoli pills that I have. So I'll just like take the little bottle out of my IFAC and I'll hand it to Warren.
For those that don't know what an IFAC is, that is an improved first aid kit that we use in the military ever since about 2008.
I'll hand it to Warren and I'll say, both of you pressurize and take those. I'm going to find Watts.
Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, the interior of the station the level you are on is currently pressurized.
Okay.
It smells a little dirty, funky, in a funk sort of way, not, musical, but nope. No bass lines, my friend. This is not Seinfeld.
So I guess I pop helmet, take the pill. What mechanically happens?
Stress goes to 0.
Yay!
Same thing with Warren.
What happens to my panic condition?
You still have that until I clear it.
Yeah, I'm still chilling at panic 11, so she is very much white around the eyes.
Yeah, I'm so hyper-focused right now, I don't notice.
Unless you want to notice, but that would require you to be very scrutinizing.
Nah, I'm on Nova. I don't notice that.
Right.
What I'm looking for Watt's body.
Okay.
Or like his like imminently dying body because he's making nonsense on the radio right now.
Well, Watts is up the arm. I mean, you don't see him around, and all you hear is his sniveling. I shouldn't say sniveling, but it's the closest word I can think of.
He is probably currently curled up in this corner up here, on the sit, his butt on floor, curled up, and just like rocking back and forth, trying to figure out what's going on.
And his weapon is like 5 feet away from him, not within arm's reach.
Like, it's probably literally just laying in this thing, because when he took off and dropped everything that wasn't literally leashed to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to note something.
Yeah.
Warren walks out of the airlock chamber,
okay.
looks around, does not see Winston.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I just walked away, so you can ask Wescott about that.
We'll get to that conversation in just a second. Pike, you got a man missing.
Radio. Yeah, I'm going to get on the radio. Just say it. All right. I know where everybody is except you, Watts. If you don't know who's talking to you right now, you're Watts. You are stressed. And you are so stressed out, you've lost focus. I am your leader. Let me help you. Where are you?
Make a...
I mean, it's player on
No. He doesn't need to roll for that. I want to reply to that, thank you.
Do I lose control of the player now? Or the character now?
Oh, I mean, if you want to roll for him becoming an NPC, that's fine.
Well, here's my argument. So...
If you want to
currently, because he's in a
resolved.
Yeah, I was thinking like as long as he's in a state of like I don't know shit, I don't remember
Oh
shit.
yeah, then treat him like an NPC, because
Yeah.
frankly, we can't fix amnesia, and I very much doubt he's going to stay on mission after this.
Yeah.
You can
So
treat him like an
if
NPC
you
then. I
can
actually
get,
kind of was expecting that.
if you make the
Mm.
manipulation roll, then a little bit of the former Watts will come back, and Wescott will have some control. No, I don't, because I don't want to steal
I
your
like him as
character.
an amnesia.
Okay,
'Cause
so if
let's play
that's
to the amnesia.
if that's what this role is for,
Mm-hmm.
then would the familiarity of Pike giving him instructions make it a command role? Because I'm trying to be like, all right, this is what's going to happen.
Well,
This
so-
is who I am. Do this thing.
So I was thinking command roll, but he doesn't currently recognize the fact that he is a Marine and that you are his boss, which is why it's a
He has
manipulation.
traits that makes him difficult to command.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's right.
He is hot-headed. He is actually
Not
harder
anymore.
to command.
But he doesn't
Not
know what that
anymore.
means. He's literally tabula rasa right now,
Yeah.
which
He
is
doesn't have any of
why
his talents
command
anymore.
won't work on him. Which is why it has to be manipulation. That's my argument, and I'm going to stick to that one just because it makes the most sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Are you still in overkill? I
No.
think you are. The threat's gone away.
I am not an overkill. So
Now you need a
I'm
panic
going
roll.
to roll and see if I trigger it. Yeah, I'm
panic.
gonna. I trigger overkill and just get mad.
You scream your lungs out for one round.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna do the scream because
Okay.
I'm gonna trigger overkill. I think he's just gonna get super frustrated that he doesn't know where he is, and he's gonna like walk over here and like grab the back of the chair with his Nova strength and just
rip it out.
just tear it out of the deck and throw it behind him so he can look under the desk as he starts searching.
Just for shits and giggles, give me your strength roll with your Nova effect, because I want to see how many successes you get, and that will influence what happens to this poor fucking chair and the surroundings. Just
I mean,
because I
but this-
find it
Oh,
amusing.
what happened to the to the two prisoners, by the way?
Which ones?
The two that Watts had taken before he lost his shit. The two civilians down here that went and hid in corners instead of fighting.
Oh, they're still hiding in the
Hmm.
corners.
So Pike probably finds them, and they're technically enemies if he's overkilling.
They're
Oh,
not
that's
They're on
technically
the out-
enemies because they are restrained.
Yeah.
That implies they
makes
didn't
an
break their
argument.
restraints once they were
They didn't know any better. They kind of watched you guys, these two fall apart, and then the elevator dinged, and there was an explosion after the earthquake. Like, they've just kind of like, they've basically given up, and we're like, we're going to stay
There
here
you
until somebody tells us
I
what to
will.
do.
I wanted
will-
Asimov to survive.
I will when I see them again, because I overkilled on the other side of this pillar. When I
And
see them again, I'm going to make a random roll to see if Pike's bloodlust gives a shit.
so, I'm okay with that, Kane. I am going to throw you, hold on.
That's
God
by the
damn
way,
it.
that's by Nova roll it.
I can't
end
fucking
this
think of the
chair.
word. The difference between a combatant and non-combatant in the UCMJ. The definitions. Pike would know those.
He does. He does. You know what?
But
He's
he
mad. There's no reason he
also-
wouldn't push it.
he also doesn't care because
That's-
he has on
it-
multiple occasions proven that if it's UPP, especially
I
UPP
hear.
officers, he will
I've-
ignore that.
I
Yeah.
have heard everybody's arguments, and I have struck a middle ground that I think is most entertaining.
Let's go for it. What do you got? So
Uh,
first, let's
I
talk
got-
about this chair.
I rolled 6 successes to end this chair.
So I think the first thing that happens when you get that grip on the back of the chair and you start to pull on it, your fingers penetrate that outer not real leather layer, and you're going into the stuffing. You grab the metal frame that holds it all together. You rip and pull so hard, the frame itself gives. It's not even the whole chair. You get like the frame, like half of the frame of the back, and the rest of the chair is kind of sitting there like a dead tree in the ground, looking at you like you missed some, as you whoop this thing off into wherever it goes. Clang, 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 clang. And then you realize there's two UPP prisoners right there. They look like they were civilians. They're wearing coveralls, but they're also restrained. Go. What does Pike do at this point? Oh, he's rolling a D4.
He completely ignores them.
Oh, good.
I was doing a sliding scale of 1 to 4 for how aggressive he was going to be with them. 1 was he was just going to walk up and beat them to death, and 4 was they were going to be of no consequence to him. He's not even going to yell at them.
Okay.
They don't matter because he's hyper focused on Watts.
Yeah, Watts. Yep.
Because Watts is armed.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean,
He hasn't found.
Watts, he's
Yep.
looking for his Marine, and he's super focused on finding his lost Marine.
All right, let's go to.
And this chair is eating the brunt of his frustration.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Yeah, so
part of the chair. The rest of it's still mounted into the deck plating, laughing at you. As
Yeah,
much as the
so-
chair can laugh, anyway.
as
Wescott.
soon as Wescott finishes taking the meds that he ordered her to take,
Huh?
she will start checking in the other direction for Watts
Okay.
for the exact same reason.
Can you make an observation roll for me first, please?
Okay.
Yeah, Warren can
Actually,
start
no.
looking too.
Contact, but don't use your tools or anything. Just use your generic skill level. And obviously the ability that goes with it.
I don't know how to make it not use the skills that are from the items on my sheet.
If you roll from your skills
Just give
tab,
yourself a -2. And
Or
it
you
should
can do it
counter
that
your
way, too.
tools. It's way easier than editing your items.
-2.
you have no stress. I feel no problem asking this question. Would you like to push that?
She's panic 11.
Ooh.
You have no
Gotta
stress
take it-
at the moment, though.
She's gotta
Statistically,
take it
this is the
easy.
best time to push it.
No.
Okay.
I don't think she would need to make a roll to see Pike is freaking out on a chair and a piano and smashing shit right now.
Well, I was gonna make an argument about whether or not she catches the attention of something, but she missed it because she doesn't want to push it.
Okay.
What were you
I
doing?
mean, do the screens down here have the same blinky nonsense as the screens upstairs?
Yes and no.
Yeah, no, she still wouldn't because she's more concerned about the Marine she's
Okay.
looking for.
And you're going
That's her
down to the
agenda,
south
man.
end.
She'd prioritize that over looking at a comms terminal.
All right. Yeah. Well, there's lights and there's blinkiness, but it's not the same warpy, trippy shit. It's just normal display blinkiness stuff. Warren, what are you doing?
I
this moment.
follow Wescott and go, where Winston? Wasn't he with you guys?
What about that part? Wescott, it's back to you. This seems like a scene between the two of you that I'll give you a moment to work on.
I just look at him and say, he didn't make it. We'll discuss it in the after action.
Fuck. All right, then.
Let's find our Marine. And they go looking for Watts down this hallway while Pike goes down the other.
Well, let's see if we can get
Pike's
Pike
not going
off that
anywhere.
chair because the chair is mocking him. I think there's a part of Pike's brain that's like,
Well,
I really wanted to
actually-
uproot this entire fucking chair, and all I got was the back cushion.
Do I see that Pike is flipping out on a
Yeah.
chair?
Oh yeah, it's obvious.
Super obvious.
It's super
I tell
obvious because
Warren
there's
to
a part
check
of the
this
back of the chair
southern
that goes
part,
flying by your head.
And Wescott will loop around around it and then start checking the north arm
Okay.
because she's just not gonna. I mean,
figure I will overkill until you tell me that this chair is dead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you right now,
she
you're
walks
hyper
by
aware.
and flicks to her private comms with her staff sergeant.
Yeah, Pike, by the way, your hyper aware focus has just focused on the chair. The chair is now the biggest threat in your entire life.
This chair
It's
is
a
blocking me.
hilariously dangerous chair.
It's Nova. It's the Nova. But he doesn't. This is the funny part. He doesn't even know it's the Nova. All he knows is I wanted to fuck this chair up, and I only fucked up a tiny part. So now I have to fuck up the rest of it before I can do anything else.
He's just it went from I'm just gonna rip this chair out because I'm mad to
Yeah.
this chair had the audacity to not die.
The chair said,
Staff sergeant
"Ow!"
Pike. We have a Marine to look for,
and she succeeded on a command roll.
and that's all she's gonna say, and she's gonna keep walking.
I believe you can resist that. Am I crazy?
Oh,
Now, I like how
I'll take
Westcott's gonna be the one stuck with panic forever.
this. Well, no, you've ended my panic. But I think he like takes another kick or two at the chair and he goes, "Fuck."
Are really love the idea of you just decimating this chair for the next 20 minutes because you can't quite get the stupid rampy roundy bit at the bottom to come out.
I imagine him just leaving and coming back with a tool set.
Like a mechanic. I said fucking
yeah.
yield with the
Also-
blowtorch.
Click. Warren, if you don't find Watts down that hallway, secure the prisoners. Unclick.
I did not. Hi, prisoners.
All right. Pike and Wescott, you guys make your way down the northern arm. For lack of a better thing to call it.
You know,
Watts is down at the end. As we previously discussed, he is absolutely seated in the fetal position. His weapon is about 5 to 10 feet away from him, very clearly not in his control. And he has the absolute deer in the headlights stare once you take a peek into his faceplate. He's still in his full vac suit. He doesn't understand why he's in a vac suit. He doesn't understand where he is, who he is, what he is.
He's probably hyperventilating as armed people walk up to him.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing is like I think he's just so lost in his own head, trying to understand what's going on that he doesn't even notice.
I pick up the rifle off of the floor and I check it to see if it's loaded, and I let Pike talk to this guy.
Yeah, let's let the unfriendly mountain do it. Yeah, okay.
The unfriendly mountain.
He's gonna stop like, I don't know, like 10 feet away, and squat.
There is, in a little bit of his face that you see his eyes, and it is, you don't recognize this person. Like, it's Watts. There's no argument. That is not Watts inside those eyes.
All right. Look down and look at what you're wearing. And then look at what I'm wearing.
It takes him a moment before the words register. And then he just looks down and he looks up at you. Okay. Okay, what?
We're on the same team.
I guess. Sure. That would make sense.
It's my job to take care of you. It's my job to take care of everybody that
I
wears
don't know
this
who you
on the
are.
station.
You're not. No, I don't know who you are.
I know you don't.
The fuck even is a Pike anyway? I'm assuming you have like some sort of nameplate on your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can give you answers. I can answer a bunch of your questions. But I'm not going to do it in this hallway.
I don't even know where we are. What planet are we on?
We're on a space station.
What? Fuck me. What the hell are we doing here?
We're killing people and taking their stuff because we're the good guys and they're not.
That doesn't sound like what good guys do. Good guys protect. We don't let other people kill and steal shit.
I just laugh darkly and goes, "Welcome to the branches of the
USCMC?
the special forces."
We're armed because we're military. We kill people and break their shit so that they can't kill our people or break our shit.
Okay. Might have read that in a book somewhere once. Maybe.
I can get you help and I can give you answers. But we got to do it at the other end of this hallway.
No, I feel pretty good right here. I think this is a pretty good spot. Only
I
one
will
way
try
in.
and- I'm going to roll manipulation. See if I can convince him to come with me. See if I can pop a bear as the violent mountain.
Hey, I enjoy watching Pike try to persuade this person. I mean, if you don't succeed, I'll turn around and do it myself. But I'm enjoying watching this after all this drama that's gone down. Plus, she's probably kind of standing there, hunched over, leaning against the wall, with a giant hole in her chest plate blown out.
Alright, talk to me about your panic mode there.
So I'm squatting and shuffling, so something probably falls off my kit while I'm like, either that or it fell off during my temper tantrum.
I think the temper tantrum would definitely make it more convenient, narratively speaking. The first thing I wanted to get rid of was your pressure suit. That's not gonna work.
No, a lot of this stuff is attached to me, so
Just
Yeah.
glitches out of it.
Yeah, it just
No
glitches.
clips.
Something definitely got moved into your inactive section of your inventory.
do you want to just stick it in my footlocker?
Uh, I've already
So it's
closed.
easier
I've
for
already
you to
closed the
remember?
thing, but it's definitely
Okay.
inactivated.
Oh,
Uh,
I see what I dropped. That's fine.
Yeah, I believe that still gives you a success. Am I crazy?
I still succeeded.
Now he is going to counter with his own manipulation roll without even realizing that he can. He's just like, no, I'm good right here, man. There's only one way in. Nope, only one way in, one way out. I'm not. No, I'm good right here. Look, another person. That's 3 in one night. You know how long it's been since I got that many in one night? Sorry, I get distracted easily.
All right. You want to sit here till we're done doing other stuff? I'm taking your weapons, and you can sit here.
Not like I know how to use them.
I just hand Pike the backpack.
The backpack of guns. Where have I heard that term before, Kane?
Yeah, but all right. I'll just like, yep, and that, so we can get like his grenades, his what if he has a knife,
I
any
think
other
he's got a
weapons.
He
little
has
bit of
a
everything.
lot of really ridiculous stuff on him, by the way.
I'm not
He
gonna
has
fuck with the
a
inventory.
pulse rifle, fire bombs, cutting torch, breaching charges, knives, semi-auto pistols, electroshock grenades.
I think when you
Is it
read,
pistols
I
plural?
think he wants to take one knife and just be like, let me have something so I can stab something if I need to stab something. Or cheesecake. I think cheesecake definitely comes out of his mouth at one point.
He says he doesn't realize that the knife is absolutely encrusted in lots and lots of blood, and then he realizes it and drops it on the floor and wants it nowhere close to him.
There's still a
Checks out,
kidney
too.
attached to it.
Somebody's kidney? Jesus Christ.
Probably some, maybe there is some fleshy chunks.
Right. I understand that you want to sit here. I'm offering to protect you. But if you don't want my protection, I don't want you to stab me in the back.
Make another manipulation roll. And I feel like this is one of those. It's like you're trying to break a deal with this guy and not so much manipulate his mind, but technically that's still manipulation. Okay, yeah, I think after a moment of some consideration, he hands you the final knife. Okay, well, be on your grave if you don't protect me or something, because he doesn't know how to make any sort of oaths because he doesn't know what anything that means. He's just really counting on you to keep him alive, even though he doesn't know why or what the point is.
All right. You can stay here if you want. It's easy.
Yeah, he's not moving. He's gonna chill right there. He's gonna go back into his semi-catatonia.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to do something with your radio real quick so you can keep the radio in case you need something. All right.
Sure.
And he'll reach over and change the channel on the radio.
What'd you change it to? Something other than the squad net?
Yeah, basically. So like, it's probably.
Don't tell me you put him on LNI. Don't put him on LNI. That's not fair, man.
No, I think.
Or
Yeah,
ONI, I meant.
But yeah, Pike's just going to put him on a different channel, so he's not on the regular squad channel. He's going to put him on the command channel, so when he talks, I'll hear him, and I'll have to go to his channel in order to be able to talk to him.
Okay.
So he can talk over other people, but he can't hear us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of other channels, you get. How do I want to phrase this? You hear in what can only be described as the PA system for the station. Are you guys done fucking around on my station? And it comes in with a very Southeast Asian-y accent. Female.
Oh, Wescott goes running for the comms relay.
Yeah, I'm not going to respond.
I mean, there's really no good way for you to because it's coming in through the PA system.
Sure. Pike just has no intention of engaging in conversation. He's going to walk away from Watts.
Okay. Wescott, you booted off to the comms relay thingy there. What are you doing?
This station is mine.
Oh, you're
She,
gonna...
no. She isn't responding.
Okay.
She believes firmly that now that they have killed everyone, the station belongs to her.
Okay.
Well, more accurately, Staff Sergeant Pike, but
Okay.
same difference.
Pike's going to look and say...
She is offended that someone else touched her shit.
Okay, what was the Comtech roll for? What was your
Taking,
intent?
locking other people out of her system and cutting it off the way it's supposed to be, because Watts never successfully completed his mission.
Okay.
This
And
is
so-
now her station, because her hands are physically on it.
Yeah.
Fuck these other people.
Yeah. So as you go to disrupt their capability of doing anything in the system, you realize that the transmission system is still broadcasting.
She murders that.
Okay, I need another roll just for shits and giggles. Alright, yeah. You shut that shit down.
I put a hand on her shoulder and say, "This is your battlefield. You need to tell me what needs doing." And I'm going to roll command to try to cancel her panic.
And triggers overkill himself.
That would be hilarious.
Level 10.
I
Are
think
you
he's
back
just
to
gonna
be...
put.
Go ahead.
I think he's gonna put a hand on her shoulder and just be like, "I have no idea what to say. This is so outside my realm. I'm trying so hard, but I'm Nova'd so hard right now." So he's just gonna awkwardly put a hand on her shoulder while she's sitting there typing.
Yeah,
totally
you start
wordlessly.
typing and you're just banging away at command prompts, and this hand is just an iron fucking claw into your shoulder.
Staff Sergeant Pike, I think we need to physically disconnect the antennas, because something keeps turning them on, and I think it's the androids upstairs.
I can fix that.
And how would you like to fix that? I know the answer. I just want to hear you say it. Let's go
Maybe
find the
just-
androids and murder them.
He's just gonna turn and be like, "I'll go to that first room. You tell me if there's somewhere else with an android, and I'll head towards the elevator."
I check on Warren report, because he's not in my direct line of sight right now.
He is
Doing what I told him to.
Yeah, so I
But
guess
I'm
technically the
checking in
pillar.
with him.
Yeah, technically the pillar in which the elevator rides is blocking your direct line of sight to him. You know he's
Yes,
over
which
there.
is why I'm asking for him to report.
Yeah, I got you.
Report.
Well, that's what she wants.
They're doing pretty good. They're just kind of chilling here, and they're very scared of Pike.
Yes, they are. Pike literally tried to dismantle a chair with his bare hands and no tools.
Yeah. Are they in suits?
They are not.
Yes, and they keep calling the tall one Mishka.
No. Mishka's gone, my friend. She's also missing body parts.
Mishka means bear,
Oh.
literally.
I digress. Pike.
All right.
You let me grab your token here. Bring you up to the correct area. Come on, hurry up. Oops. Damn it. I started drag selecting instead of actually moving your token. Now I gotta wait.
Pike gets to go into the vacuum that is the upstairs.
No, he takes
I mean, I take an elevator to an elevator, or I just walk up the stairs.
Well, there's 2 elevators, and they don't connect all the way through, so you have to go to the middle.
Yeah,
floor,
at some point
and
you have to
take
go
the
through
stairs.
We're gonna hand wave that.
I walk up the stairs.
Yeah. However you got up here, you're standing in front of the door to the control room.
You don't even stop at Winston.
I mean, there's no real point, and he's super hyper focused right now, ADHD style.
Probably stepped on him.
He may have kicked him and didn't even realize it. Anyway, Pike, you're in front of the door to the command center.
Is it still open like I left it?
Is that how you left it? 'Cause it looks like it was, but yeah. No, it's open. The
Okay,
androids inside. Go ahead.
Are you going to make me bother rolling against stationary unaware targets, or am I just going to start popping them in the head?
I wanted to see how you were going to do this. So, yeah, as you approach the control center, the door is still open. The androids seem to be oblivious to you. There are the warpy, flashy bullshit things on the screens. So I do need a wits roll.
I'm not in the room. I'm just looking at these guys from the hallway and I'm going to shoot them. As soon as I can see them, I'm
Okay,
shooting.
what is your wits score right now?
1.
I mean, it's a one. It's always a one.
Okay.
But he's not. But he's so focused on the shots.
Yeah,
he's not gonna
no,
walk in the room.
my brain, I was like half a second behind you on that one. But he's on Nova, so he probably wouldn't even bother looking at anything other than these androids because he's up here literally to murder the androids. So
'Cause
go ahead.
Wescott just told him to.
Yeah. So here's what we'll do. One attack roll, based on the number of successes, will determine the outcome of murdering all three of them.
Oh, you know what would be even more efficient and even more Pike-like?
Go for it.
He's had
Oh,
time
God.
since walking up here.
I'm sorry, what?
He's had time to walk up here to
Yeah.
notice that his pulse rifle is somewhere. He doesn't know. Whatever. This pulse rifle's on the ground. But he's like,
Did
you
I
know,
drop your
it's-
pulse rifle because of stress 9?
You dropped my pulse rifle like last session.
Okay. I mean, you
Oh,
were
that's
using your
right.
sniper rifle, so it made sense. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I
Sorry.
think as he's walking up the stairs and he's like, I want to kill these robots as quickly as possible because fuck robots and all this bullshit. So he's gonna throw a grenade in the room.
I
Like
that's
that.
I'm not gonna lie. That's what I was waiting for. So go ahead and make me your grenade attack roll. And based on the successes alone, we're not going to get into all the rules. I just want like a quick narrative way to summarize what happens. So really what I'm looking for is successes. But you have like a super strength sort of thing going on. So you probably have like 47 dice and 4 successes. Okay. Give me that stress roll. That sounds like overkill.
Yeah, he's just gonna throw the grenade in very aggressively.
Just yelling while the grenade is flying.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Instead of being not really
It's-
stealthy.
It's on the cobs. Not that Watts can hear it because we've changed his channel, but
Yeah.
the others can hear his long, unending expletive train of his hatred of toasters as he's chucks this grenade in.
All right, with 2 successes, 2 of those androids absolutely become immolated in the blast. They are just disintegrated. There is nothing but white chunks of goo, mechanical parts. The third one, he lasts long enough to turn to you and recognize your face from earlier. Not that he has any way to really identify you specifically, but just gets a really good look at your face as half of his face just like sloughs off, and then he falls over deactivated. There is significant damage to the terminals that they were working on. The windows are now, instead of the warpy, weirdy, spasmy shit, it's got that weird, like when you take a flat screen and bash it, it's got like cracks everywhere and none of the colors line up right anymore. Or mostly black even.
Did you ever hold a magnet to a CRT monitor?
Oh god, no.
But
I know
I've
somebody
seen
who
the
kept
effect
doing
where
it.
you get like a rainbow prism sort of thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pike is super focused on killing robots. So while the camera sees all the cool fractured LCD screens, Pike is already turning away to walk to the next room.
Which room are you going to next?
He's headed this way.
Give me 1 second. Let me mark these guys actually dead.
Yeah, after he does that, Wescott owns control of the station.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Go ahead and move your token to where you're going.
His next stop is the med lab.
Okay. When you go in the med lab.
Oh, he's not going in. He's
Oh.
going to the open door.
Okay. Yeah, the door's open. There is a commando in there, and he is currently in quite a bit of distress. He is sedated and restrained.
He's dead. He's
Sorry?
in vacuum.
No, the vacuum never came up here.
This is an open stairwell. And this door
He's
was
dead.
left open.
Oh yeah.
You know what? He's dead. Fuck it. It's not going to make much difference in the story. Oops, wrong button. All right, yeah, no, he's dead.
Okay.
He's
I don't see
also
anybody else in there.
restrained. If you want to, I mean, you're kind of super hyper focused on clearing room by room and house by house.
If
Mhm.
he looks dead, that is the end of my interest.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay. I don't see anybody else in here.
No, that's it. Just that one
Okay.
belted
Well,
down.
I have a door to my right
Which door?
to the data servers.
Correct. There's nobody in there. It's literally just the data server. God damn it. You've been in a
Oh, what
server
about
room
that
before,
guy?
huh? Oh shit, this guy.
Yeah, he's dead too.
Yeah, he would be dead. You find him. Actually, yeah, you find him in there when you go into the data server room. It's just data servers. There's lots of red and green blinking lights, as one would expect from a server room. And it's
In the
warm.
80s.
It's kind of warm in
I
here.
I walk through the room and there's no robot people, nobody alive.
Now, the only electronics are the servers.
Okay. I will continue down the hall.
Doctor's office is on the left.
Is the door locked?
I mean, you're Nova'd up. Is it really locked?
I kick the door off the hinges.
No, it's not locked. Not anymore.
You know what? It was a closed door. Pike doesn't even check. He just kicks the door off the hinges. Is there anybody in the doctor's office?
Negative. I will tell you because I feel like you're about to go literally room by room.
He's going room by room, and if he sees any movement in a room, he's throwing a grenade and he doesn't care what's in the room.
See how you
He
respond.
has a lot of
Let's see how you
grenades.
respond to that impetus, that input. The rec room has some bodies inside. They when you see them initially, they're not moving around a lot because they look like they're frankly, they look like they're starving or dying or something. One of them actually is dead.
Is there windows for these doors? Like to the rec room?
I think there would be a small window of some sort in the door.
Okay, he'd look through before opening doors.
Yeah. The three living don't look like they're in good shape at all. They look malnourished, scared. They have no clue what the fuck has been going on this station, insofar as what's happened since you got here. But they know something's going on, and one of them sees you and starts speaking some sort of Southeast Asian language at you, very rapidly, very scared, and not very loud because they don't have a lot of energy in them.
He's on the other side of the door in vacuum.
I mean, I could see them talking, even if I don't know what they're saying.
Let's go with that, because sometimes I forget how physics works.
Is there a I can probably answer this myself. That there is no intercom in that room.
There is the PA system.
Yeah, but there's somebody else on the PA system. So
Is
that's
there?
the only
Is there somebody on the PA system?
they have access to it. So
Do they?
is there like there's no one anywhere else in here on this
Correct.
floor?
Correct.
I would have checked Mother as well.
Yeah, it's very obvious. It's Mother. Mother is not really interactive in this current state because of some lockouts or controls that the UPP put on. But the particulars of all that, you barely understood that much, especially with your Nova. You
Yeah.
would need someone like Wescott or somebody better to come up here and tinker with that shit. Wescott.
So I don't see anything like
Good.
the way that they're dressed. Does that mean anything to me?
Coveralls, no markings. If you didn't know any better based on their body language and their lack of energy, these are probably more like prisoners than anything else.
Okay.
Again, to be clear, like the malnourishment part really gives that away, I think.
Yeah. I think the only thing Pike's going to do right now, because he's busy, is he's going to hold up a one moment finger and then
Yeah.
walk away from the door.
Okay. Yeah, I think you get somebody sees you holding the one finger up, and they're like, "Oh no, wait, you mean 1 minute?" Because they thought you were trying to communicate. Wescott. It soon becomes apparent to you after. I mean, you don't know that Pike. Well, you heard Pike's litany against toasters. The Omnissiah would be proud, by the way. Sort of in a weird, and in a weird data machine god sort of way.
AI are evil.
Yes.
They're heretic.
Yeah. So, other than that, and maybe a faint rumbling that you probably wouldn't have heard, you would have felt maybe. You notice as you're tinkering along with the computer systems that two things. One, you now have exactly as much control as you could possibly have, short of having full-on administrator access. But also that there is a UPP ship attempting to contact the station that you have, for lack of a better word, banned from your Discord server. Or I guess kicked from your
Do
Discord
I have
server.
sensors? Do I have access to see where they are?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do we have sensor support here?
I mean, look, I know a station has to have sensors, period.
Yeah.
Have I hacked my way into them yet?
I'll do this. Give me contact -4 for your total because of your tools and unfamiliar. Well, no, just do contact -2 because it's a US whatever station, not a UPP station. I'm sure you're gonna get half a dozen successes anyways.
Wait. Are you saying this is not one of our stations that was mothballed, so I have no clue what it is?
No, it is. I'm giving you the -2 because they've tinkered with some of the files. Don't push your glasses up at me like that. Just they've been running this place for a while, so that's why some of these commands are a little bit wonky. God damn. Okay.
You don't have a panic condition anymore, so you can, it's safe to push.
Alright. So you have...
Oh yeah, I forgot to unclick that.
So you do pick up their location. What you also pick up is an incoming message from the Tamatam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the right word. Basically, it's a quick blast text message, type beam, and it says, en route. You hack your way through the UPP corruption of the USCMC. It's not USCMC, it's the US, whatever the national stuff is. You hack your way into the sensors. You see the two UPP destroyers. I believe it was two UPP destroyers in the very beginning of this mission. The ones that had initially detected you and then sped off. You see those two ships, and they are in a very much direct beeline to this station. You see a third ship, Cygnus? What was the ship? I don't remember.
Staff Sergeant Pike, we need to pack up and leave. We have multiple UPP en route.
Yeah, like toasters.
Not done yet. We can't go nowhere. Boss says I got to kill the toasters.
The Corvus.
Corvus, that's it.
It's like, I'm busy killing toasters. See who's in the rec room. See if we need to save them.
Yeah, so the Corvus. Hold on, let me finish describing the scene. You have the two UPP ships on approach. You have the Tamatam moving out of the asteroid field at the edge of the system, and you have the Corvus hauling ass away from all the others. And then you have Pike saying, "Who's in the rec room?" Or whatever he just said about the rec room.
Okay. Says it, Mac.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Warren, pull suits out for your two prisoners. She says the emergency lock is right there.
Yeah. No roll. It might take a moment to find
Suit
one, but you can
marketing.
find one or two. I mean,
Well, no, I just told him to go get the two prisoners' suits.
no, I
Because
meant
they're not in suits. And then I continue hacking to pull and dump as much data onto a specific server upstairs as I can. Because I'm packing this shit up and we're leaving.
Alright.
On a side note, if I have time to get camera pictures of the supposed people in the rec room, I will check.
So here's what happens. You find, for lack of a better way to put it, you find the data mega cache of project whatever the fuck mind bullshit game that the UPP was pulling here. You find that master folder, dump it into one of the servers in the server room. You also find a secondary set of files on some political prisoners under a single folder called, ironically or unimaginatively even, political prisoners, detailing the names Bao Mendoza, Mal Weber, and Zotran, and a fourth name who has been replaced with the word deceased.
Does it match the physical descriptions of the people I can see in the rec room on the cameras that are probably all over the station?
Yeah.
Sergeant Pike, the people in the rec room appear to match profiles of political prisoners.
Make Warren deal with it. I'm looking for toasters.
Ooh. I was wondering when I was going to come back into this.
That was amazing. Just the way Kate just deadpanned.
Okay, Warren,
I'm killing toasters.
How about Nova?
well,
Man?
pull out 3 extra suits, because there should be enough suits in that emergency locker to staff most of the people on the station with emergency suits.
Yeah, it might
which
take
is what
some.
we need to do.
Now I
to
have a
walk them.
question.
Go for it. What's
a
your
very
question?
important question for this.
Hmm.
No, that's too big. Never mind. I had a plan and the queen broke my plan. Never mind.
Hmm.
Cool. So, yeah, I make Warren suit up the prisoners, and we go back to the first floor.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand wave some shit for 2 reasons. 1, time, and 2, I feel like we can't really stretch this out anymore as far as this mission. So what I want to do is this. Let's kind of summarize narratively what happens over the next few turns, and then effectively the mission will be complete. So you guys gather up the 3 surviving political prisoners from the rec room. Never mind the logistics on how to get them in and out of the vacuum, in and out of their vac suits, and down
Emergency
to
locker.
right. But
so we had
they're
suits. I had a plan for it, but we don't need to go through it.
yeah. So ultimately, there's vacuum involved, there's suits involved, and then getting them through the vacuum with the suits on. Anyway, long story short, you all end up getting out. The Tambatam comes in and does a bit of a cat and mouse game with those 2 destroyers, destroys one of them, heavily damages the second one while taking a few strikes in return, but the second one manages to break off. The Tambatam, whose priority was to pick you guys up, and also since they have received some damages, are like, well, we can't really keep going toe-to-toe with these fuckers, and we still got to pick up our guys, so let's pick up our guys since they're bolting. Otherwise, we would chase them, but we're not chasing them.
Yeah. I rig this station with explosives in all the important areas, and I leverage Mr. Super Focus over there to make the heavy machinery roll for me.
You know what? Give me a command roll to get him to do that, because he is currently looking for toasters that don't exist. He's killed them all. He just doesn't know it. He doesn't believe it. Okay. The command is stop killing toasters, start emplacing heavy machinery dice rolls.
We have a whole bunch of RMAT charges. We blow up the important bits. I take the hard drives out of the servers with the stuff we care about, and we take our prisoners.
Looks like, I think it's arguably easy to say that all of the RMAT charges are placed right about where you need them and right about where you want them.
Cool. Can I finally get them off of my freaking
Yes,
sheet?
you absolutely
Thank
can.
God.
However many you want to get rid of.
So Pike's exit to this.
Yes.
He's gonna make Warren bring Winston.
Yep.
He's gonna make Wescott bring Watts, and I'm bringing the Queen.
Agreed.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I make Watts carry boxes for me. Just so we're clear, I'm putting him to work. His work is carrying taped up as to fuck cardboard boxes, but he is put to work.
I think you could convince him eventually. And then we
have a moment where I kneel down in front of him, take my helmet off, thunk it on top of his head, going, "Okay, time to go. You can have your pity party somewhere else when when we're no longer on a station that's about to explode. If you don't want to die, come with me."
Right.
Come with me.
And then I put my helmet back on.
Yeah. Come with me if you want to live.
Stay here if you want to die.
Yeah, really. I think in this universe, it's definitely with you guys. It's definitely going to be stay here if you want to die.
I pulled that line out of nowhere in an Only War game, and everybody was super mad, including the DM, because I had an ability with I was playing a stormtrooper. So I don't get a battle buddy. Instead, I have abilities that trigger on everybody. So I found a group of refugees fleeing in the forest, and I popped out of nowhere with my stealth roll and said, "Hey, come with me if you want to live." And then I triggered that I could roll stealth for all of them with my roll. And I banished like 200 refugees from orcs. They were like, "What is this bullshit?"
God.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
The DM was
The beautiful abuse of the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So we make it to the Tam.
You make it to the Tam.
Yeah.
It takes a while. It takes some work. There's things that have to be done. We're going to gloss over that. And I have a decision to make regarding Watts. I'm going to make you guys make... I'm going to make one of you... I want one of you, Pike, make a command roll. I want Wescott to make a manipulation roll. These rolls are not mandatory. If you would like to keep Watts as an active player character, both of these rolls need to succeed. And you will have -3 on these rolls.
Nope.
I mean, as the player of that character, you've got a pretty hefty vote.
I think no, because he's not the character that would tolerate that, because the reason why he's so bloodthirsty in him is because his memories of what he's did before, and shiny newbie person would not tolerate the stuff that we're doing. We'd have to retrain him completely, and we don't have time for that.
Okay.
And if the time it takes for us to come back, if it's clear to Pike that this isn't a temporary like shell shock thing, and he's actually brain dead, then Pike would just be like, "All right," he goes to the intel boys to go whatever they want to do for their security concerns.
Yeah. So he's obviously not brain dead, but I get where you're going with that. He's.
Well, look. We brought an entire data cache.
Yeah.
2 UPP soldier prisoners, maybe civilians. I don't believe that.
We rescued the political prisoners.
3 political prisoners. They might still be political prisoners to us too. We don't know.
And we brought back the data and the subject of the data so they could recreate this, because I brought the Queen as well.
Yeah. All right, so I'm hesitant to put Watts in the honored folder, honored dead or whatever, only because he's still alive. Even though Watts, the persona is dead.
He is black bagged into a dark site of we're never seeing him again, and he's never allowed out.
Sure, absolutely. I concur with that. That was just the whole. That's the folder for the dead. This guy's not dead. You know what? Luke, you're kind of neutral party on this one. What do you think?
Well, he's amnesiac.
Yeah.
Or however you say that.
I'm not sure either. I've been struggling for a week.
He's amino acid.
I mean, technically true.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
Yeah. So he's not gonna get his memory back. Training someone from start as a new recruit that actually has an idea what an ally is probably a better idea
weeks
than
and weeks right there, minimum several weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, Marine Corps boot camp is 8 or 9 weeks or 11 weeks or something like that.
But getting
that-
but getting someone who's already like a recruit into the thing, right, would be a lot easier to get them on board the
Yeah,
mission.
there's certain
Then
muscle
getting a
memories that would
Pike-
take over.
Yeah, but getting getting Watts to commit to the bid again would be quite difficult, I think.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is getting the new personality to wrap its head around the idea of being these not entirely legal special forces guys would be really super difficult.
Yeah.
I definitely am not arguing that Watts is basically unplayable as originally written. There's definitely no argument there.
There is so much that he would have to be retrained on to be useful if he would even agree to something, taking the word of people that he's never met.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's definitely
Logistically,
going
this is
through-
not working.
Yeah.
There's months of therapy and programming in order to make him like a person again.
Yeah.
So he's gonna disappear
Oh, yeah.
with marine intelligence.
Yep, absolutely. Let me see. Pike, at some point, you. I don't remember.
Overwears
I don't
off.
remember. I don't remember how many hours we rolled. I feel like we rolled like 3 hours or some shit. Does that sound right?
Yeah, at some point I gotta make that roll when we come down.
Yeah.
Does he
I think we
crash
can.
on the way back to the?
I think that's what happens. We're gonna hand wave some shit here, but I think what happens is about the time you hop on the Tambatam, you crash out. You don't even make it to your rack. You're just plop right there, full suit and everything. Alien gore bits all around you.
I like the idea that he takes it off the drop ship, drops the queen, and then just face plants on the deck on the ship.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happens.
Yeah. So
Uh,
do I have to make a first aid check?
Well, stand by because Pike needs to make a roll or two here. So, the first thing that needs to happen is a stamina roll at -2 using only your normal dice.
That was the stay conscious roll that you narratively failed me.
Okay, fine. That's fine. You're
So-
out for 2d6 hours, several hours. When you wake up a few hours later, I need another 1d6 roll, so go ahead and give me that now, please.
1d6.
The whole thing.
Yeah, you got the worst one. All right, so starting out. Reduce wits and empathy by 2 and strength and agility by 1 to a minimum of 1 for the next 24 hours.
Wits, empathy, and what?
Wits and empathy go down by 2,
To a
And
minimum
strength-
of 1.
right, to always to a minimum 1, and then strength and agility also to 1, or by 1, I should say. This lasts for 24 hours. There's more to come. I also need a wits roll at -2. I believe you only have one
Okay.
wits anyways, but
Yeah, it get reduced to the minimum of what it
Yeah.
is normally anyways.
yep. So give me that wits roll.
Come on.
Holy shit, you
Thank
succeeded.
God.
That's impressive because I don't think you've passed a wits roll yet.
I've passed 1.
Now
the entire
2.
campaign.
Now 2.
Hey, I'm just happy because I'm clearly sitting next to his medical bed, and if he woke up swinging, I'm probably dead. So I'm pleased.
Hang on, because I got to get through all of the what happens if you failed that roll, and it's quite a bit. Let's see.
That's reassuring.
Hey, the
Yeah,
amount of time it takes for you to go through those is your fault because you wrote them.
I know. I just didn't. I didn't organize the written part as well as I could have.
At least he hasn't
Actually,
claimed-
it looks like that's it. You
I
have
witzed
no.
my way out of that.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I witzed my way out of that.
yeah. You have that 24-hour reduction, and no lingering effects beyond that. You got super lucky because I
Considering-
wrote that wits roll knowing your wits were going to be
It's
really
gonna be
low.
nothing, yeah. So I feel like for the next 24 hours, Pike doesn't feel any dumber, and he has no less empathy because he can't. But he's just like he's so sore from the
yeah.
overexertions.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
He's like,
absolutely.
he's ice packing and stuff while he's sitting at his desk.
He's
or sitting at
alternating
the
between
table.
ice packs and hot ass baths. Yeah, that's definitely it right there.
Oh
Okay.
man, I think Wescott is going to have to babysit
Definitely.
him because she doesn't have a medic that's read in on his condition anymore.
I was thinking that too because as I noticed,
She can't leave his side to keep other people from fucking with him. So she literally has a Watts sitting in the corner,
Oh, he's gone.
zip tied
yeah, no,
until
yeah, by this point,
Army Intelligence picks him up,
yeah,
and
well,
then she
as a
has
point of
Warren sitting
clarity,
there.
as a point in clarity, by the time he wakes up and is in this reduced functionality state, Watts is already gone. He's not even on the Tamatam anymore.
Yeah, so Pike wakes up to Wescott sitting up next to his bed in a chair reading a magazine with a gun sitting there because she does not trust people to walk through that door right now.
And she's not sure if she trusts Pike.
That too.
Well, we're gonna have a grim moment when he wakes up. So where does he wake up?
He would wake up in. You know what? You passed out on the flight deck. I think you would wake up in medical. And
Guys,
We're in a room, in private room in medical, because I
think-
would have insisted on it.
yeah, I
they'd be,
think that
like,
if
curtain
you,
walls.
yeah, you definitely have. It's the closest they can afford you. You have a 3-wall room. The 4th wall is probably where you're seated.
Yeah. Well, and I'm seated in such a way that I am guarding the open wall.
Yeah.
So he's probably to my back.
Yeah.
So he gets consciousness. He'll wake up and then just start looking around the room, try to get his bearings.
I want to be clear too, because for the moment, the last thing you remember was being super high, physically unrestrained, and now your arms are fucking lead. Your legs might as well be made out of tungsten. And your chest hurts so goddamn bad. You're not even sure why. You have no memory of what, like you remember everything that happened, right? But your brain is like, why does everything fucking hurt?
Where am I?
Med bay. Tam.
How long?
4 or 5
I
hours.
look at my watch.
Yeah,
and I
4 or 5
quote
hours.
the exact minutes.
Oh.
She had a timer running.
She probably did.
She has the watch to do it.
Watson Warren.
Warren told to clean up our gear, keep him busy. Watts already picked up by, I don't know,
As far as
intelligence.
I think as far as Wescott would know, unless you wanted to dig around for more information, all she would have been told is that Watts is gone.
Yeah, Watts is gone, presumably picked up by whoever picks up Marines who doesn't have any memories anymore. I haven't had time to dig. Just so you're aware, there is not any medical staff appropriately read into you, by the way. So I've had
There
to
is
keep them
one.
out of the room.
There's one. The chief
That's how
medical
you ended
officer
up. Like,
knows.
so I like to think
Yeah,
that what happened
But
was
he can't sit here and keep everybody else out of the room. I am.
yeah, he's got other people to check in on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody been waiting for my wake up?
I'm sure our Colonel Arnold is very displeased for having our debriefing delayed due to medical necessity.
You didn't put one together for him?
She would have put a basic one together, but Arnold seems to be very much the person who wants to put us individually in a room with a clipboard.
Yes, and I think what he would have
other
allowed
than
is
Warren-
like a very preliminary rough outline of what happened from one of you versus none of you.
Yeah, so Wescott would have put the written report together,
Yeah.
of course, with the basic facts and everything trimmed together, but that is not sufficient for Colonel Arnold. He
No, because
prefers
Colonel
personal
Arnold comes from
interviews.
a more behind the scenes chain of command, and he wants
Yeah,
to
it's like
know
I tell
all
him,
the
like,
information.
he has the debriefing report that I put together, but as you are aware, he prefers personalized interviews.
Right.
I look back at him finally. You ready to try to get out of the bed yet? Doctor said you'd be sore.
When she says
Yeah.
sore, there's a part of you that almost wants to cry, but there's a much larger part that's like, don't you dare, you little bitch.
I can walk.
And that little part says, no, I can't.
Just like he throws the sheet to the side and he like looks at the bruising around his joints and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, I think walking's about where we're going for now."
Standing is going to be a challenge.
She moves her things farther away from the door over towards the side of the bed, and then looks him over and goes, "He said we could get you a couple meds to help cut down on the swelling, but you sure you want to try standing, or you want to wait for give the meds a few more hours?"
I'm a Pike.
I grab him, like I do the whole, because she basically is going to attempt to assist you to stand.
She's going to be your spotter for standing.
Well,
Yeah,
she
if you
basically.
if you try to touch, he's gonna like slap your hands away, and then he's gonna try to stand up next to you.
Mm-hmm. I just stand braced because I have a feeling I am about to have a Pike on my shoulder.
Well,
Just for the
even
shits
though
and giggles,
for
give me...
roleplay, he's really miserable, but he's still a 6 strength character.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
mechanically, he can do this no problem. Roleplay wise, it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it
of
just hurts.
the hilarity, I would like a mobility -4.
It's not a stamina to force himself through the pain.
Let's just see if he can physically stand, and then we'll figure out if it hurts or not.
Just because his muscles are still there, doesn't mean they communicate.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, but you stand up. It hurts a lot. Your knees feel like, I don't know exactly how the knee is constructed, but basically it's something like this with a cap over it, right? It
Yeah, the
feels like the
cap is-
cap has just gone away, and the two ends are just trying to absorb
Yeah,
into
so
each other.
the cap is on the front because
Yeah.
it's what allows your tendons to leverage
Yep.
properly.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to move it just because it's two plain bones sitting together.
yeah,
And they're kind of rounded.
yeah.
But
And
the
there's a
cap
lot of
is what
cartilage and
lets your
stuff.
tendons and muscles pull properly, so it actually can move.
And it feels like those two end pieces, which are basically your leg bones, are
Mhm.
trying to eat each other because of the extreme exertions you put yourself through in the last several hours or however long ago it was.
I just hand him the small bottle with the 2 Pike approved pain pills.
Pike approved pain pills.
Like, he has to have his own kind. His
Yeah.
body chemistry isn't the same. I hand him these are the Pike approved. I hand him a bottle of water.
He's gonna take the pills and a bottle of water, and he's gonna shuffle over to the doctor's office. He's not taking them yet. He's gonna shuffle over to go find the doc.
Okay.
I tell you where I've seen him last, because I'm assuming that's who you're talking to first.
There is a nurse on, let's just say a nurse on station. When she hears you shuffling, she will pop out from behind one of those curtain type deals, right?
Mhm.
And she looks at you, and there's a look of shock. And then there's a look of recognition.
Wescott is following behind him
yeah.
with the rifle and the PDAT, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And she just says, sit down, please. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Let me go get the doctor. And it almost feels like he is...
Are these doctor's orders or doctor's recommendation?
Can't answer that. He told me to just let him know once you tried to stand up. I see you're well past that. I need to go get the doctor. And she moves to leave the cabin that they're currently
He just continues standing where he's at. He doesn't try to walk around anymore, and he's also not taking the pills yet.
A moment or two later,
That's why they're in a little bottle.
What? Hold on. I had his name just a second ago. Let me see if I can pull it.
You know, one of those ubiquitous little orange clear things with a white lid.
Yes. The Pike painkillers. Methamphetamine.
They're literally the generic container that they all come in.
It's the little paper cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lieutenant, well, One rank bars says lieutenant, the other one says doctor, and a nameplate says Heinrich. Pike, you recognize him. He's the one that read you and Winston in however long ago it was.
Mhm.
He comes in and he says, "Oh, you should not be standing right now. Come on, sit down. Sit down, Staff Sergeant. Come on." And yes, those pills are for you. Please take them.
Is this a doctor's order or recommendation?
That's an order. You're going to hurt yourself. Your muscles and tendons and all the other parts that keep you together are going to be inflamed. They're going to be painful. And the last thing I need is for you to make things worse or hearing you cry in pain.
While he's saying that, as soon as he said yes, it's doctor's orders, he just he's conditioned to listen to his doctor.
Yeah. All right, sit down, sit down. How's your heart? And he pulls his stethoscope, but he's also like when he says that, he's looking at you, waiting to see what your answer is. As he puts the cold metal, no prep, right to your chest. So
Yeah,
I imagine by this
doctors
point
do.
you're in a gurney, or not a gurney. What's the
John.
A gown.
a gown? Thank you. Puts it like right to your chest, bare chest, and he's listening and he's waiting to see what you have to say.
My heart feels tired.
It sounds tired. You need to go rest and drink that water. The whole thing. Finish the bottle.
He just chugs it in one go and then crushes it.
There you go. Now,
I pull the bag of electro slime, the hydrate.
Electro Slime. I love it.
Excuse me, the hydrate. It has an official branded name.
It's HYDR8.
Yes, actually. And I hand it Pike, going, I figured you'd want that from your locker.
20 ounces of water, 20 ounces of that. And he points to the hydrate. Every hour. No questions. More if you want, but every hour minimum. Understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go back to bed. I don't want you getting out of bed, except to use the bathroom. You can sit up to eat. You need to let your muscles heal. Understand this stuff, this Nova, I've been getting some reports, it's wild shit when it works right. It's even more wild and dangerous when it fails. This depletes your entire body. Hold on. Is she allowed to be in? I haven't read her in on this.
I'm
Colonel
just
Arnold gave
standing
me
there
permission
looking at him.
Colonel Arnold gave me permission to give her a basic reading.
Did he? I think he did, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to know any of the specifics, just
Right.
vague generalities.
I mean, it's not like you could sit and babysit him this entire time, Doctor.
She looks at he looks at your flippancy and is like, "Noted, Sergeant." And then looks
She
back to
hasn't
Pike.
slept yet, and so she is very on edge.
Oh, sure. And then he looks back to Pike and he says, "You understand carbohydrates and stores and depletion and overworking already exhausted muscles, yes?"
I do.
Okay. That's what you have done. Imagine all of that in a numerical value for a 24-hour period exhausted within 10 minutes. And then it's extended because you keep going for several hours until the effects wear off. Ideally, when the mission is complete.
I've only got 3 questions, Doc.
Go for it.
How soon can I give just a sit-down briefing with the Colonel?
Give it a few more hours and we'll see how you feel. I'll let the
Um,
Colonel know. He listens to me. I feel like there's a smirk when he says that, but also it's like when it suits him. But
Yeah.
he doesn't
Honestly,
say that part.
when the doctor says that, Wescott sighs very relieved because the Colonel has been very glary at her.
Well, he's not like, so on one hand, he's like, he listens to me. Unspoken when it suits him. So he's trying to play a good game here, but he's not got a great hand.
What's the timeline looking like to be released?
24 to 36 hours. Unless we go to FTL, in which case I got to put you in a tank.
Right. If there's a ship emergency, am I cleared to help? Or am I too injured to be helpful?
I don't have a good answer for that. You are in what I want to call a 24-hour observation window right now with about 22 hours to go. I haven't had a chance to observe you in this state yet, and I need this for multiple reasons, including your personal health, your medical record history, and the fact that there isn't a lot of that information available at present because most of the people that have been taking this shit, most of the people taking this medication have not returned normally.
Understood. If you want to leave me some paper, I'll write down the whole everything that I'm feeling health-wise as things change, as I notice things, give you as much data as I can.
That would be incredibly helpful, Staff Sergeant. I'll make sure you get some notes.
I just handed him my PDAT. He already with my report to the colonel already opened. She's been sitting here for hours. She's had time.
Oh yeah, I imagine. Warren?
He gets back up and lays down.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna shift gears to Warren for a moment, and then we're gonna wrap for the night. Warren, it's finally been a moment where you can literally take your shit off and fucking breathe. Except one small problem. There's no relief.
Doesn't help.
It doesn't change anything. Everything is, you're just fucking on edge. Every time you go around a corner, you expect that you're going to run into somebody, very literally, very physically, but nobody's there. Every time you go to sit down and find something to do to preoccupy your brain, for the sake of preoccupying your brain, it doesn't do it. You can't focus. You have no attention span. All you could think about is the people that were killed in that station and how it makes you feel inside. Winston's dead. He's not coming back. Watts is gone. You don't even know what that means. You assume it means he's not coming back ever. It could mean he's dead. That somebody put him under. You don't know what any of that means. He's just gone. That's the only word you're getting. Nobody will tell you. A few hours after returning to the Tambatam, you're not entirely sure how you ended up here. You know of a few of the other Marines aboard the ship, and you know some of them carry some shit that they're not supposed to have. And I don't remember if it was Warren or Watts that had the contraband pile. I really don't.
Watts?
I mean, it depends on which one he wants, because if it's caffeine, he'd be raiding Wescott's locker. If it's tobacco and alcohol, he's raiding Watts' locker.
And if you want anything stronger, there's ways to get into the nurses' quarters, or, well, let me rephrase that, the sleeping areas, work areas, etc. of the various medical personnel aboard the ship. The question is, you not 100% sure what you're going to do yet. You're looking for an outlet. What direction are we going here with this addiction? Where do you realize you're standing after you realize you've been standing in this one spot for the last 5 minutes, not even realizing that you've been mulling this idea over in your head? Should I or should I not? Where are you? Are you in front of one of your former soldiers' lockers? Are you in the medical sector?
I think I'm gonna see what Watts has in his locker, but I think I'm gonna go with the slippery slope method, which is start with alcohol.
That's a good spot. You are in front of Watts' locker. It's still locked with his combination. Nobody's cleaned it out yet. Again, as you sit there, you run your fingertips over his name. Watts wasn't a great guy. He may not even been a good guy. But he was one of the team.
But he was the guy.
He was also one of the team, regardless of anything else. And for all intents and purposes, from what you were able to gather, Watts is gone. Even if he's dead or alive or whatever they're going to do. The Watts you knew died on that station. Just as well as Winston died. You managed to, not the most deftly, crowbar your way into his locker without making a huge mess. You've seen him do this before. Once he's popped the door open, of course, he had the combination. It was easy to do that part. But you've seen this part before. We're down at the bottom of the locker. There's a deck panel that he just taps in one of the corners of that panel. And a wall panel comes loose. And there it is.
What is it?
A fifth of Jack Daniels.
Oh.
And it's only had a couple of shots taken out of it. It's pretty much an 80% full bottle.
The mediocre stuff.
It's a gateway, man.
Oh, yeah.
That bottle is full of memories. It's not the bottle itself that has all the memories, of course. It's the idea. How many times did you sit with Watts over the last several months, sharing a quick drink, sharing a stupid story, bitching about Pike, hell, bitching about
Playing
Winston,
some cards.
throwing some cards. Usually that bottle, if it wasn't that bottle, it was another bottle. If it wasn't that whiskey, it was something else. But it was the idea of Watts. You can hear his voice.
I feel like you've dealt with addiction before.
What's that?
I feel like you've dealt with addiction before because
I am a cigarette smoker. I know some of these feelings.
Yeah.
And I realize that is lame compared to some of the more severe addictions out there.
It's the same mental process, though.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's just different health effects.
It absolutely is. That bottle, it's not calling to you. It's telling you.
I'm begging.
It's saying, have one. You need it. You deserve it. And have another one, too.
Time after.
Have one for Watts, too. And fuck, you might as well have one for Winston. It's not like he's coming back anytime soon. Ever. I will allow you to choose whether or not you take a drink. If you choose to not take a drink, you will need to make a wits roll.
I think I am going to take the drinks, but do I need to make a stamina roll for composing myself to clean the stuff afterwards?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You will need some sort of composure event, i.e. a stamina roll, to make sure you don't fucking drink the whole bottle and then pass out and puke everywhere. Because there are several shots worth of alcohol in that bottle still.
I would imagine.
And he's left unattended in the troop bay with some basic orders from Wescott for several hours.
Yes. And you've got nothing but time and memories to sift through while you're looking at that bottle.
All right.
Never mind the fact that the contents of that bottle slowly become less and less. One could argue one for every memory.
See. I'm gonna make a wits roll to see if he's going to take 1, 2, or 3, and then we'll go with the stamina.
Sure, let's do that. Make your wits roll, and then based on that, I'll tell you how many stamina dice to roll. How about that? Brother. There's two ways to interpret this.
Yep.
Either you have one shot, or you had all three very fast. How would you like to interpret that?
I'd like to say that I have the one shot, because this is probably like a threefer.
Yeah. So you do the one shot. It hits really nice. The burn, it just knocks that edge off. You know what I mean? That edge that you can't seem to shake. It's only now that you start to feel the tension in your shoulders disappearing. It's still there. It was at 11. Spinal tap 11. Until you took that shot. Now it's down to 9. And the bottle says, what about Watts?
Ooh.
Watts would have loved to drink with you.
That's an empathy roll.
Down the hatch.
You know what? Yep. Okay, so that's the second one.
The tension that momentarily was, or for a very long time, was a spinal tap 11. And now was at a 9. When you take this second one, you don't even feel the burn. It is dangerously close to drinking something as smooth as water. And the taste, Doesn't even matter anymore.
Nope.
You feel a certain lightness in your shoulders, your arms. And then Winston, kind of a weird guy, but you know what? The end wasn't so bad, right?
We had a lot of good moments together.
Indeed. We did, didn't we?
All right. -1 on empathy.
Absolutely. Down the hatch.
He's going for the third.
Yep. Now I need you to make
Cruel
the
seductress.
stamina -2.
Stamina -2.
And I will narrate the results based on this roll. You hold yourself together for the most part. But somewhere along the way after that third shot, it just got too fucking easy. You eventually find yourself with an empty bottle and very fucking sleepy. There have been a few people as you kind of meandered your way through. Well, you wouldn't have gone too far because you're in your own platoons.
We're in our own troop bank.
Yeah, you're in your own troop base, so you wouldn't have wandered around too much. But you notice things are like everything's at a weird angle. Like the angles don't line up the way they ought to. The hypersleep tanks or whatever the fuck they're called, they're at a weird angle to the floor and the bed. How do you expect to lay in the bed and not fall off of it? But then you're like, fuck it, I'll just try it. I can do this. And you lay down. And you wake up several hours later with an empty bottle of Jack Daniels sitting on your chest. And I want you to roll 1d2. Because I can't think of a better way to do this. I don't know, I'm going to tell you right now. You might want. Oh, no, you know what? Don't do a 1d2. We'll do a 1d3.
1d3 incoming.
Pike, several hours go by. At one point, the doc says... Actually, the doc comes in and he checks on you. He takes your vitals. He says, Pike... Well, he says, Staff Sergeant, how you feeling? This is like 6 or 8 hours later, by the way.
Yeah, he holds up the pad. It says, it's been a struggle not to take a nap.
Well, you should.
Gotta make sure I get you good notes.
Fair enough. He takes the pad. I'm assuming you've offered it.
Yeah, he's been like constantly writing like everything. He's every sensation, like, throbbing seems to increase and decrease at regular intervals. Is this psychological, physical, experience irrelevant? Like, did he just like all kinds of random shit?
Right. I said, it's been about 8 hours since you woke up. Let's see how you handle a short walk. We'll go down to the troop bay and back. I'll go with you. And he holds a hand out to help you get up on your feet.
I would have asked Wescott to go get my silkies so I could at least walk around in PTs.
Okay.
I go and acquire his clothing.
I would have asked you to do it during that multiple hour period. So
yeah, so that way that I can still have my moment.
Is Wescott sleeping in a chair in Pike's room, or is Wescott also wrecked out in the bunk? Because 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. She wants to keep eyes on both of them.
I think at some point you get to a point where you just can't. Like, you got to lay down, and you check in with Pike. And I don't want to take over Pike's
She very well may be sleeping in that chair that she had dragged in there.
I think she would be. And you are probably oblivious to this moment when the doc comes in to check on Pike. And he sees you sleeping, so he's going to talk quietly. He doesn't want to bother you. He knows you've been there this whole time. Or as much as you can be.
Pike looks over as he's like putting his PT shirt on. He says, mission was real rough in the normies. She needs it. And he'll go to gap with the
Yep, and he'll help you up. He'll surprisingly stronger than you might expect when he sticks his arm out and you use his forearm as leverage, because it doesn't budge, despite however much pressure you might put on it.
And he looks right at the doctor and says, "I trust all these signs of weakness are covered by patient confidentiality."
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see any weakness here. He
Rah.
says that, and he says that with a smirk.
Yeah, rah.
He lets you lead the way and lets you set the pace to the troop area. And that is when you, Staff Sergeant Pike, find, what is he, PFC? Lance Corporal Warren? Whatever his fucking rank is. That's when you find Warren snoring deeply with an empty bottle of Jack cradled as if it was like a baby. And that's when Warren wakes up. And that's where we're going to leave it. Because I can't think of a more poetic, oddball cliffhanger right there. Pike finding his young soldier getting drunk, passed out in the barracks. Effectively, by the way, for the record, consumption of alcohol at this point in the stage, or in this point, god damn it, on the ship is generally considered not good.
Yeah.
It's usually reserved
Did he,
for when you're on leave.
Do the gear cleaning that he was instructed to do before he knocked off?
You know what? That's a great question. Warren, did you do anything that you were instructed to do before you decided to wander off and figure out how to deal with all this pressure?
I feel like he would have attempted it in his stressed out manner, so maybe try something with a minus or something.
Sure. Well, here's what we'll do. I think you get the basic stuff done. Like any help you needed to do for the report, any input that you needed to do for Wescott's report.
I would have set him to clean all the weapons.
Oh yeah,
over the course. I wouldn't have told him to do it all at once. I would be nicer than Pike, but I would have told him slowly work your way through the weapons and armor after.
Oh,
real slow. I think you get your weapon done, and it's kind of a half-ass job. And when you went, I think after that, you went to.
You probably have an entire array piled on one of the tables in the bunk area.
Yeah, and it's only your weapon that was done, and it's kind of a half-ass job. And I think what happened that triggered all of that would have been reaching for either Watts or Winston's weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what would have been like, you know what? I'm just going to go take a break. And then that break becomes a walkabout. And then the walkabout becomes, I need to handle this somehow. And then unconsciously, you're standing in front of Watt's locker going, oh, that looks delicious. And the bottle is talking back. So yeah, and that's Pike, is the end result is what you find is your soldier, or your young Marine waking up with an empty bottle of JD in his hands. And regulation-wise, this is absolutely unauthorized.
Yeah, but we're not doing anything with that. That's our cliffhanger.
That's our cliffhanger, because I got nothing better right now. Listen, I can't throw a clean alien at you every fucking session to have a cliffhanger, okay? Besides, you guys would probably appreciate it if I did not do that.
That was really wrong.
That mission was fucking rough. Period.
Yeah.
The whole mission.
Yeah.
If Warren hadn't fucking grenaded those fucking fanatics or insurgents, it would have gotten worse. It was supposed to be worse.
If
I fucking downplayed it from there.
If you roll a face hugger on any of those dice, he would have died.
Oh yeah, that would have been horrible.
That was an amazing roll.
I think more importantly, what I had planned versus what we did, that was the changing point, because I was like, I can't keep throwing bad guys at him. Cannot, it's amusing on one end, but at one point, I'm literally going to TPK these motherfuckers. Pike's going to come down here, nova it out, and overkill, and find his way through half of them, and then I'm going to throw more of them because now that the mission is done, I can tell you what was supposed to happen, and this isn't even necessarily strictly by the book, this is what I was going to do. Those insurgents that initially crashed into the station, they were here for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And right behind them were those two dropships full of fucking UPP commandos that were going to come in and fuck your day up. Now, there was a finite number of them, but by that point, you guys were already fucked up from everything else.
Oh yeah, it was going to be terrible if we didn't manage that.
Yeah, so when you were like, I'm going to throw a grenade. Okay. Actually, you might actually survive now. Okay.
This is the beauty of coming well prepared.
Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, it was a Hail Mary, to be honest, because I didn't know how much damage I was going to do to the station.
I think I may have
It's-
downplayed the potential, but it was only a grenade that would have, at best,
I was
put a
ready
spin
to.
on it.
It was anti-personnel fragmentation, so
Yeah, and I mean, I was ready to either harpoon gun my way back into the station or harpoon gun my way onto the enemy dropship and just pursue them with another grenade in hand.
Come back here, I got one more! Alright, let's
Because I
do some
know
experience
that
points.
that would cripple another ship.
Yeah, let's do some experience points. Did you participate? Absolutely. Did you risk or sacrifice something to further your agenda?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like the answer is yes.
I want to try to argue that I did because Pike believed that there was a skilled hacker on the ship. He was looking for that toaster.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know if it was going to be a toaster or a hacker, but whoever was, they were going to be skilled. And given that they were UPP, they'd probably be an officer. And he was going to kill everything. I mean, he blew up the one room that we probably needed to keep for more SSE, but he was super reckless.
That sensitive site exploitation. It's the post-battle gather intelligence after you blow everything up. That's what he said, for those that didn't catch that SSE.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I feel like I have to explain these acronyms when I catch that you used one.
Fair enough.
Only because, like, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh, I know what that means. That means such and such. And they're like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. After you do SSE, you gotta blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, do these people know what SSE is? Yeah, I'll go ahead and give that one to you. I feel like this one is pertinent for everybody regardless. Did you risk your life for your buddy?
Yes.
Pike is my buddy.
I think all across, I mean, like, across the board, everybody was trying to do something for everybody else at some point.
Uh-huh.
If it wasn't specifically risking your life, it was doing something for the mission to prevent more shit from happening.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Wescott willingly walked up to Pike after he just shot her to slap a suit patch on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Let's see. Panic rolls. I don't know how many panic rolls we had tonight.
Everybody made a panic roll.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I
I don't
did,
think
actually.
Wescott did.
Oh, I didn't either because I would have died.
Oh, that's true. Well, I overkilled.
You
like 5
definitely
times this session.
overkilled your way through yours. So
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Pike definitely gets one for that one. This one, I'm just gonna arbitrarily say everybody gets this one. Did you overcome a dangerous event using violence or non-violence? Yes.
So much violence.
There was a lot of violence. You guys fucked the station up, and then destroyed it from orbit. Significant discovery or revelation? I will now take arguments.
Mm.
Yes, we brought all of the information back that was requested of us as part of the mission.
But was it a
Jack
significant
Daniels is
discovery
tasty.
for you?
We figured out that the Queen was able to control minds, and it actually occurred to us this session.
I was going to make
I
an
didn't
argument
occur to me
that we found political prisoners.
Okay.
Mm.
Political prisoners, yeah. And yes, there was a certain element of mind control involved, yes. So, alright, I'll give that one to you. For all three of you.
Nope.
No?
I didn't discover that at all.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
I'm
you most definitely got it because you were ordered to suit up the political prisoners.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
I made you collect their spacesuits so they didn't die in vacuum.
Just remember, hey, they're political prisoners. Yeah, killing toasters. Make Warren deal with it.
Yeah.
Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I'm going to make these arguments. Wescott, yes, for the hacking battle that she had to go through. Although it
Mhm.
wasn't really a battle, but it was still a hacking battle. Pike.
For destroying a chair.
Fuck it. I'm going to go with it, yeah. For attempting to manually disarm or dismember a chair.
I tried
And
to fist
Warren-
fight a station.
Warren, absolutely, because of that grenade.
Yeah.
He
held
was
the line.
down.
It worked, though, so it's not dumb. That's the net result answer. It's not dumb.
No, I mean he was down to like
Oh, yeah.
just stay right there in the murder hole.
I mean, listen, you were one die face away from ending Warren of your own accord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One whole dice face. That was a 6.
5 of 6 possible answers, and one of them kept him alive.
Yeah.
Let's see, and obviously you all earned some money. So now you should have a metric fuck ton of experience points to deal with.
So many.
I did not mess with my rival. Which is a bummer.
I'm sorry, what?
I did not mess with my rival. There were so many opportunities to.
Who was your rival again? Oh, it was Wescott.
Wescott.
Yeah.
You could have many times, many
Yeah.
times, but you were so.
But I was on Nova. I was too focused to fuck with her.
Yeah, you absolutely were. If it wasn't, we have to deal with this mission, it was, I'm too focused on other shit than to deal with her. Rodance,
Poor Wescott.
feedback, outro-y bits, what do you got?
Yeah, so Wescott is literally sleeping in his hospital room with a broken nose and probably still wearing her armor that has the big chest section shot out of it.
You know, that
She
reminds
looks
me,
bad.
you literally took a bullet. I think the doc would have had to been like,
She
yeah.
she was very, very She's not she probably came in very not calm after losing one person and another being fucked up and another one being laid out. The doctor probably just conceded to letting her sit there
I feel
because
like
that was
that's-
the best way
yeah.
to keep her calm.
Yeah. That was like the easiest way to keep her from getting too agitated was just let her have her fucking way.
And if there's anywhere for that injury to get complicated, right here's the place to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the mission overall? It took 4 or 5 sessions at least to get through the entire mission. Like the mission, not the shit leading up to it. That took like 2 sessions, I think. I think we spent like 4 sessions just literally going through this. I think it was only 12 rounds of combat, but there were so many moving parts. A lot of which you guys didn't see.
One, I think if you are going to have that many NPCs, you should have a note on the side with just a couple of stat blocks so you don't have to keep shuffling for them. Because I don't know about you, but I find some of the inner menus of Foundry difficult to remember exactly where everything is. So if you just keep them on the side, you'll have a lot better time with it.
That's probably not a bad idea.
The other thing is, I want a solid session or 2 of downtime RP after this.
Oh, we'll have some.
There's so much we need to do.
There's a lot of
you're
decompression that needs to happen.
For another W-named character, except this time it's pronounced with a V sound.
Yep. So your secondary comes in now.
Yeah, Zachariah Volzinski.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotta come up with a W name too.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Oh, I got the right one. Did everyone just guess which one I was saying?
I'm just gonna read this appearance description to you because it's freaking hilarious. 6 foot, blonde, hair just long enough to slip back, no tattoos for they would damage the temple of his body. Looks like he could easily win a strongman competition. The front plate of his smart gunner harness has a large cross and the words "In God We Trust." The smart gun has a rosary wrapped around it. And it is the chosen weapon used to smite the enemies of God. And the incinerator on his back has scrawled on the side, "Purity."
I called it.
He's either a fucking paladin or he wants to be a sister of battle or space marine so bad.
His personal agenda is bring the light of God to the non-believers.
Space marine.
Yeah.
Because remember, like the UPP are like caricatures of 1980s Soviets, right?
Yeah.
So that was the Soviets are godless. That was,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
part of the
absolutely.
Red Scare thing.
Absolutely.
So bringing the light of God to the UPP involves purging the non-believers.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed making that character
and
for
his
you.
primary smart gun weapon is called Deliverance.
Of course it is.
I just had to let you know what to expect when it comes to next session.
I really like that we
can't
did the
wait.
touch of wrapping the rosary around the grip.
That's amazing. That's just amazing imagery. And of course, like all jokes and shit aside, there are plenty of religious folk in the military.
Mhm.
So this is not, as dumb as this may sound or comical as this may sound, this is not that far off of what you may encounter if you join the military and end up in some sort of quasi special forces combat arms. There are some people that are literally like, just bringing the love of Jesus one bullet at a time.
Yeah, I wouldn't
No,
doubt
it's not
that.
take for
It's
sanity or
there.
taste. Everybody's a little weird.
Yep,
Mhm.
they are.
They just happen to have a lovely book that goes along with it.
Luke, thoughts
Yes.
for tonight, outro comments, thoughts for this mission overall. Go.
All right. So, edge of my seat most of this mission.
Good. I like that one.
Yeah. I didn't think Warren was making it back, and he made it back. And I have some thoughts about how effective he's going to be if he has to down an entire bottle of liquor just to function.
I think we'll have to look at the mechanics a little bit to see how much he actually has to consume. It's not really. I don't
It's
believe
not
it's
super
actually
clear.
specified. It's just that you
Yeah.
can't go to
You
sleep.
just have to do a dose.
Yeah,
like every
one
day.
dose. Now,
So you just do
narratively,
like a shot a day.
yeah,
Will keep the insanity away.
yeah. Now, for that scene, I really wanted to sell that the alcoholism was setting in.
Yeah.
To illustrate that addiction role.
So that it becomes a dependence.
Yep. And now we can kind of play it up as we continue that he really does need that shot to relieve that stress. Now it has to happen, period. Or he goes to bed and he wakes up the next day and the stress is still there. He wakes up cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Not unlike,
So-
in some ways, to Wescott's wake up and see if we're going to get out of bed today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're going to have lovely rolls of seeing
Yeah.
who's worse that day.
And
Yeah,
Pike
but all-
one day will have to sit there and go, wow, my team is completely fucking useless.
See, the difference
And then just put
is-
us down.
Yeah,
The difference is Westcott can't escape her demons.
correct.
Warren found a way to numb his.
Well, temporarily
Well-
shut him up
Well,
anyway.
I'm pretty sure she's just going to end up addicted to nap relief instead because Pike is going to insist on pumping her full of it. So
I
Mm.
love that angle, by the way, and whatever you guys, I'm not telling you what to do, but I love the
Mhm.
idea, as dumb as it sounds and certainly self-destructive as it sounds, I love the idea that Pike's method of, I need to get her back in the fight. Here, take this. That's a command. That's an order. Luke, what else you got for me, brother?
Not too much. I think I have a character that I was working on. And it's also another W name, but it's not pronounced with a W at all. So I mean that's perfect.
Right.
So it'll be right, exactly.
I said that as literally as Right. And as soon as I said it, I was like, fuck, that's his name. Right.
Yeah.
Kane, what you got for me, brother?
I'm surprised. I didn't start murdering the party earlier in the mission.
It just didn't come
Uh,
up, though. Like,
there's a
Pike
few
was in
ways that-
control in the beginning.
You were
There's a
really
few
excited
ways-
for that, weren't you?
I was really dreading it, and I killed you, and I was really upset that I was going to kill you. But I was like, "This beat them bones. It's how it's gonna go."
No, don't feel bad about that.
But yeah, I was dreading it. I was like, I can't pass the roll. Like it's so improbable, and it's so easy to make me make that roll. I stole the guts from this mission, so I know all the ways you could force that roll to happen.
Oh, are you under the control or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one, I wasn't always 100% aware of where you guys were in regards to making that roll. The other thing that helped out a lot was, if I'm not mistaken right now, it was once per turn that you were on the station. And because you were in combat, I almost had to trick you guys into making that roll. Because one combat is 1 turn, but we've got multiple rounds going because we're basically in an extended combat. And so I was like,
Mhm.
I got to trick them into making this roll somehow. So I was like, oh, well, you know what? Wescott's playing with the computers. Let's make her make that roll because she's going to see something out of the corner of her eye that catches her attention. And that's the only way I was able to get her. And then Pike, I don't even remember exactly how I got you to do it.
Because
Oh.
I shot the queen through the window and she went in your mind.
Yeah, I think that,
Yep.
that's exactly what it was. And
And
that
Winston died.
even wasn't necessarily an option that the queen really had, I don't think. I think I just kind of hand waved that one just because I wanted to see what would happen.
But you rolled a die to determine which person, and it was Pike.
Yeah.
I
Now-
was surprised it didn't happen earlier, and I'm glad that we rolled with the command roll to be able to try to pull somebody out of it, because if that was that roll, those 2 rolls that Wescott made in that 1 turn that she had to make the rolls for, or at the campaign was over.
We'd be prepping beyond the frontier.
Like,
Because if Pike had gotten the 2nd round to shoot at Wescott, Wescott was guaranteed dead.
Yep.
Nobody else there could fight Pike. And because the 2 of them would have been dead, neither of them would have been able to radio to the other 2. So we
Yeah,
just hopped
Warren
off the
would have
elevator
just,
and just
like-
fucking killed him.
Warren would have just smiled and been like, "Hey, salute," and then bullet through the
Bang.
head.
Yeah.
Although
Wild.
I do have watchful.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could have been like, something is weird about Pike.
And he just
Pretty
got me.
sure Warren isn't gonna outshoot a Nova to Pike.
No, but he can out grenade one.
Fuck. I don't know. It's still a strength roll.
Pike also has 2nd wind.
Not if he's dead.
If the crit doesn't, if he doesn't get one of the 3 immediate death criticals, he just gets back up and can pass the stamina roll to survive an open jugular. It's real dumb.
Yeah.
I was really concerned when it was Wescott's turn. I was like, this is it. Rodance is deciding if this campaign ends.
Yeah.
It wasn't even Rodance, it was the
Um,
dice.
And I just wanted
Wild.
to state that
Hey, I built the character to do nonsense like that, so
It worked. It
When-
saved it. Go ahead, Luke.
Winston was the least stressed person right up until his death
Yeah.
at 1 stress.
I think, and that was the irony too, because I think Winston.
Was just like in his stride.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, this is going
I think
well.
Winston. I think from Winston's perspective, if this was like a TV show, Winston's just like, yeah, this is just another shit mission, but here we go. Let's just do it. And all right, we're gonna go downstairs. Oh, what the? You know?
Yeah, and then like Wescott got shot, and he's like, oh, okay, what's and then just a bullet to the head.
I can imagine that from like a movie point of view, right? Like the rifle
it's
swings
got
around
some-
right at Winston's face, and Wescott jumps to protect the president, takes the first shot, and Pike just waits for her to fall to the ground and take his double tap.
Yeah.
Like that was nuts.
It really
And
was.
I had to take a very defensive fight against the queen.
Well, yeah, because she'll rip you apart and not even think twice.
Yeah, I had to be able to roll the block, or there wasn't anything to stop me from dying.
Instantaneously.
Yeah,
And you
that was
got
a
lucky
very-
that you didn't get one of those instant kills either.
That was a very
Would the-
stressful fight.
Would a second win have helped against one of those instantaneous deaths?
So most of the queen, and Praetorian Guard and Crusher attacks.
Oh,
like,
okay, they
half
just do
of
too
them-
much.
Well, it's not that they do too much. It's that it tells you exactly which critical it does
Oh, okay.
in their death.
Like
Okay.
So
I want to say the tail spike one. It's literally you eat a tail spike through the head.
it's a like the tail spike is impaled heart. The
Yeah.
head bite is brain
Just
destroyed.
a head bite.
Yeah, it literally bites your head right off your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no secondaneous, just instantaneous. Got it.
It's straight up you're dead. Period. There's no way
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah,
It like mechanic
it's
or
very
narratively
stressful.
or mechanically or whatever for the player character. It sucks, but that's part of the game because
Yeah.
it's just it is what it is. And those attacks are meant to be random, so it actually causes like legit stress levels in the players.
Yeah, I mean,
Also,
sometimes you
when you
just
see a queen, you might want to fucking run away. Don't stand and fight one toe to toe, Pike.
Alone.
After you try to murder your own team.
if I didn't knife fight it, everybody in that hallway was gonna die.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My
Everyone
gun was
in
empty.
place.
My gun was empty. I mean, if it killed me, I did enough damage to it with the gun that even if it killed all of us, I think
Shot.
Warren and Watts could have finished it off with guns.
I forget the exact numbers, but you did something like 8 points of damage against 12 health on that fucking thing. Like, you did so much damage to it. I was like, holy shit.
And that was after the rumble.
And I was like, this is the queen. No, the queen doesn't go out like a chump. Come on.
Pike, the sniper, is in fact very good with his rifle,
Yeah.
as Winston found out.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other final thoughts before we wrap? Going once.
This is gonna be a wild downtime. There's so much shit to
I'm not even sure what I'm gonna have you
To
guys
deal
do.
with.
I might just leave this ship floating through space so you can have all the downtime you want. No, I do have a couple of things I want to do. The badge guy is gonna come back. He's got to.
Yeah.
Tom Stevenson is definitely coming back.
I mean, if you want to affect the change that he exists to make happen, he's gonna have to keep
Oh yeah,
showing
he
up a
has to
couple
come
of
back.
times.
He has to come back. And then
Otherwise, I'm
Watts
gonna keep rolling
or
towards
Winston.
the ending that I've been rolling us towards.
Winston's dead, so bringing back anybody that might say something about those two kids on that one planet, on the beach planet, that's pointless. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for Warren. Warren's just gonna find a new dealer.
Dude, Pike would absolutely supply him alcohol if it makes him functional.
That's dark. It's dangerous.
It is dangerous, but it's delicious.
It's Pike's mindset. It's Pike's mindset.
No, I hear you.
Like, he
Do what you got to do to
understands,
get through the
like,
day.
All right, so
Yeah.
so Kane, Pike, what gets put on Warren's armor now?
Oh,
I'm
hold
gonna
that
think
thought.
about it.
Don't answer that.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're still
No,
streaming.
but
Hold that thought until
I'm
next
just,
week.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll be curious to know
I'm just
too.
saying this is an armor moment, and I'm just saying.
Oh, Mike saw that grenade, and once he realized it was Warren that fired it, yeah. Mike knows. He put two and two together. He might have been super hyper focused on Robot Lady, but he got that one. All right, let's get out of here. That is it for us. Oh my God, where am I? That is it for us here tonight. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. And fuck you, bots, that my system flagged as being likely harass or restricted. Because you're all talking about cheap viewers and best viewers. Fuck off. The best viewers are the ones that willingly come of their own accord to check out shit and stay.
I just want to state that.
I lost Rodance.
Rodance is gone. Okay.
Oh, she's coming back. And we're all in the wrong place. But that's okay. We're ending. What's up, Luke?
If they spoke about anything that we were discussing in this game, they could have probably been like auto banned.
That
know, man.
maybe.
Rodance froze again.
We discussed some
frozen?
dark things.
Yeah, she's
She's super frozen.
That's all right.
Super
I can
frozen.
hear you.
Oh, there it is. Your
Well,
internet's
I mean,
getting
my
wonky.
video is frozen too, but my internet is having a hissy fit.
Yeah,
This is about the time of night where my router on the IP side reconnects.
Yeah.
The ISP is a little pain.
okay.
There was some dark stuff in the end of this mission. The downtime is also going to be very dark.
Oh, I'm very much. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I think there's going to be a lot of like, here's the reins, guys. Just here to support. At any rate, let's get out of here. Again, thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. If you enjoyed the show, we strongly recommend and appreciate heavily all of your likes, subscribes, shares, and all the other buttons that are on the screen that you're enjoying us on. Whatever those buttons are, mash all of them. Let's see. Excuse me. Tomorrow, Rogue Trader, Tides of Acheron, continuing our plundering of a pirate ship or something like that. I don't know. Thursday and Friday and And I believe Saturday will be more video gameplay streaming by me. And then, of course, we'll be fucking off for the weekend and coming back next week to hit it hard and new all over again next week. So, that's it for us here tonight. Stay safe out there, my friends. This is a dark, crazy world. So make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. And as for me and mine, we're out of here. See you next time. Have a good one, my friends.
Yeah.